time.
And now 54-year-old Durante Tolliver is charged with murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It is 49 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitt says be breezy, cool today with the high only getting into the mid to upper 50s as we dry out from yesterday's rain. We get sunny, a bit warmer for Halloween Friday. Atlanta's most accurate, dependable forecast is coming up. Airports, meanwhile, were set to reopen in Jamaica this morning as the island just starts to deal with the devastation of Hurricane Melissa. Some of those airports only available, though, for relief planes. Perry Russom reports the U.S. is pitching in to help out.
The U.S. military is sending a team to Jamaica to assess the damage from Hurricane Melissa. One official saying the word catastrophic is not strong enough to describe it.
The pictures look that way as well. Melissa had been downgraded to a Category 2 storm this morning as it continues northeast through the Caribbean. It'll head out to sea this weekend. Its death toll now tops 24. Most of those deaths are in Haiti. Some U.S. senators continue their muted optimism, a possible movement toward a budget deal to end the now 30-day-long government shutdown. The Senate set to vote on a bill today, but then is expected to leave town for the weekend. Comes as SNAP food aid benefits are set to run out of money Saturday for millions of Americans, including hundreds of thousands of Georgians. Meanwhile, here in Georgia, Governor Kemp pushes back on calls for the state to cover the cost for those benefits.
The governor says that Democrats are to blame for the current situation surrounding the shutdown.
The pressure needs to be on them. It is clearly not on me.
He tells me it's unclear if the state would even be reimbursed if they were to move money to keep the programs funded.
The states cannot be the solution to this. It just would never end. You got SNAP, you got TANF, you have Head Start, early learning programs, TSA workers, paying the military. I mean, it shouldn't be like this.
State officials continue to say they've been advised there's no mechanism for them to fund SNAP. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
While Democrats are demanding a renewal of tax credits for the Affordable Care Act, Republicans insist on a short-term budget deal before negotiations can resume. Well, it seems common infections can be harmful to our heart.
The risk of heart attack and stroke rises significantly in the weeks after catching the flu or COVID. A UCLA study found both the flu and COVID, as well as chronic infections like HIV, raise the risk for serious cardiovascular events.
And Michael George reports the study insists the findings show the importance of getting vaccinated against the flu and COVID, among other viruses. Well, Honda is among the major automakers that plan to scale back production because of an export freeze on Chinese chips that power parts like car windows and windshield wipers.
A lobby group for European car makers indicated a potential production halt within days. General Motors CEO Mary Ibarra said the issue has the potential to impact production. Ford CEO Jim Farley has said he raised the matter with government officials, and Stellantis said it's assessing the situation.
Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti reports Toyota says it's seen a limited effect on its production so far. Nissan, though, admits it only has enough chips to last into next week. And the newest segment of the Atlanta Beltline officially opens today. It's part of the Northwest Trail that runs from Marietta Boulevard and Huff Road to Elaine Avenue. Today's ribbon-cutting ceremony also marks the groundbreaking for another segment. It'll stretch from English and Culpeper Streets to Monday Night Brewing at Traybert Avenue. Planners say the Northwest Trail will one day stretch more than 4 miles. It's 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start on the roads with Smile and Mark McKay.
Pair of Hero units teamed up to hold all lanes. John to clear a crash off the inner loop of the perimeter, leaving I-20 heading toward I-675. If you're in that stopped traffic, there is hope that all lanes have reopened, and they indeed have. 285 westbound. The crash is on the right shoulder just before Boulder Crest Road, exit 51. Hero unit got involved in that incident we were watching in Brookhaven as well, Ashley Frasca.
A center lane was blocked 85 south past Claremont Road. They just cleared that to the shoulder, and then waves of slow traffic headed below that all the way down to the Buford Spring Connector, and a little bit crowded along the connector southbound trying to get past 10th Street. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitt. It's partly to mostly cloudy, breezy, staying cool in the 50s today, falling back through the 40s this evening and overnight. Down to 42 Friday morning, mostly sunny, and 62 in the afternoon. Will be clear and in the 50s for trick-or-treating Friday evening. And then for Saturday, so frost in the suburbs, mid to upper 30s, 40 in town, mostly sunny, and 65 in the afternoon.
46 degrees right now in Douglasville, 47 in Clarkston, 48 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
I don't know if it's the way my brain is wired or I'm inordinately hungry at 9:05 in the morning, but Judd just did the story about Chinese chips And I was like, ooh, tell me more about Chinese chips. Like the ones you put in the wonton soup? No,
Not quite the same,
yeah,
no.
I'm sorry. Am I the only person that heard Chinese chips? I'm like, China's making chips now? Like, with guac? What are we doing?
General Tso's chips.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Judd updating, obviously, a big story. We're going to go in depth on President Trump had that long-awaited meeting with his Chinese counterpart, President Xi. Some really big headlines coming out of that meeting. President Trump, as is wanted, I love this, taking questions from reporters on Air Force One as he heads back from Asia to the nation's capital. Got some great audio from President Trump. We're going to be joined by Ed O'Keefe in D.C. from CBS on the big headlines that are coming up. He joins us next hour. We're going to update Hurricane Melissa in just a second. But Judd, the award-winning newscast you just heard there, we heard Governor Kemp in an exclusive interview with WSB Radio's Jonathan O'Brien talking about the SNAP funding and the state's not going to step up, which the governor laid out his case. There's so many things that need to be funded. Where do you begin? But it's ironic to me, Deborah, that tomorrow, what's tomorrow, Deborah?
Friday, Halloween.
Halloween, right? I don't know if it's irony or what, but tomorrow is like circled on every child's calendar. The most gluttonous day for kids across the United States is Halloween. Just remember when you were trick-or-treating, folks. As I got older, I went from the cute little pumpkin, the orange plastic pumpkin, to pillowcases to get all it was the most gluttonous day. Give me all the candy, just as much fat and sugar and calories as you can get. So that's tomorrow. And it's an exciting day. I know the Higginbotham boys are excited. The Longoria girls are. As a child, it's the greatest day. Christmas might be up there, but as far as just getting free stuff, walking door to door, it is a highlight. You get the costumes, you get all the sweet treats. It's phenomenal. So we have the high of that tomorrow for children, the sugar high of that for kids all across the nation tomorrow. And then the day after, the most gluttonous day for kids of the calendar year. A lot of those children that are going to be ringing your doorbell or taking candy out of your bucket tomorrow night, wearing the cute costumes, going door to door. The very next day, some of those kids are going to lose their SNAP benefits. That almost borders on cruelty to me. That, on Friday, you are going to get, right, tomorrow's Friday, you're going to get 500 Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and 42 Snickers and Nerds and M&M. You're just going to have a bounty of this candy. And then the next day, your single mom, your single dad, your grandma who takes care of you is not going to get the $180 a month that they need to feed their kids. That sucks. That's really bad. And I don't care if you are an opponent of the SNAP program or a proponent of the SNAP program. If you've been on SNAP, you're not on SNAP, you're currently on. Hungry kids, there should be a line drawn politically when it comes to feeding hungry children, food insecure children. That should be something we're all on board with. And just the complete 180 that those kids are going to have so much candy tomorrow night. And then in November, for as long as the government shut down, their parent, their guardian, their aunt, their uncle might not have enough food to give them 3 meals a day. That's horrifying to me. I was never an insecure food child. Didn't always like the food I got, but I was offered 3 meals a day. Toast and cheese in the morning, or Wheaties, an egg salad sandwich. I was always, I never went hungry. My food insecurity came in the college days when I was off the parents' dole. But I can't imagine what it's like. I had enough things to worry about as a child than to worry about what am I gonna have dinner tonight? What's that dinner gonna be tonight? So the SNAP benefits run out November 1st, cruelly the day after Halloween. I'm in a situation where I am the opposite of food insecure. I'm not 400 pounds, as some listeners might think, but if I miss a meal, it's intentional. Like, oh, I ate too much at Golden Corral for lunch. I don't need dinner. Maya and I, we're a dink family, dual income, no kids. And I'm thinking of our situation where I can't remember the last time where I was like, can I get this meal? Am I going to be able to eat? And not having the responsibility of feeding children. And I feel like I am in a position to do something about it. I'm sorry. When I wake up November 2nd, the first thing I'm going to think about is like, are there going to be hungry kids in the metro area? Are there going to be hungry kids in North Georgia today because their single mom doesn't have the extra $180 a month to feed them built into their food budget, which has already been stretched thin, as we all know. If you're on SNAP or not, grocery prices are crazy. Beef's at an all-time record high. I'm in a position to do something about it, and I want to do something about it. Now, I don't know the mechanism of doing this, Deborah, but I want to, and I probably should have cleared this with my wife first, but the average SNAP benefit's $180 a month. $45 a week. I can spare $45 a week. That's one less Uber Eats meal I get for Longoria and Vinny. They can, survive a month without an Uber Eats breakfast delivery. So what I want to do is sponsor a SNAP family. And I just don't know how to do that. And a SNAP family with children. Because that to me, a hungry child, and the statistics show if a child's hungry, they can't learn in school. They don't learn as well. They're distracted. They're hangry. It's tougher to get an education when your stomach is grumbling because you didn't have a sufficient breakfast or you didn't have a sufficient lunch after recess and you can't focus, you can't concentrate. I'm not suggesting any of you do, but if you want to help and maybe sponsor a SNAP family with me, we're going to figure out how to do that, Deborah. So what I want to do is, and I don't know how we can verify, I want to be able to verify it, not just some random person like, yeah, I want an extra $180 a month. Be able to, a SNAP family, maybe this is just prejudice to me. I'm thinking of a single mom with like 2 kids and struggling to make ends meet and needs that $180 a month to feed their kids. I don't know what kind of proof they can show, like receipts from previous SNAP benefits or whatever, but I want to be able to verify that there's a family out there that could use an extra $180 to feed their kids. So especially if you are a SNAP family listening right now, you're listening to my show. You're the reason I can afford to sponsor a SNAP family. So preference to WSB radio listeners, because without you, I can't afford to feed my family or Longoria or Vinny or Alex Williams. Actually, I might be able to declare for SNAP benefits, the people that I feed in this.
Yeah, I think you already feed enough people.
But I want to do that. I want to sponsor a SNAP family. So if you are a SNAP recipient, preferably with kids, I know there are elderly folk out there. I'd love to help you too, but I want to focus on feeding families that are going to lose their SNAP benefits on November 1st because I'm in a position to do so. So go to markaram.com. I'm sorry, I'm giving you a lot of work here, Deborah. You're working a double shift today. Go to markaram.com, contact us. If you are a SNAP family with kids that are about to lose your SNAP benefits, I want to sponsor you for at least November. Hopefully the government will remain shut down longer than that so that your kids have enough food to eat. That the loss of $180 a month, $45 a week, doesn't deprive your child of a meal or 2 or 3 a week. And for those of you that aren't on SNAP and you're living paycheck to paycheck, imagine if your boss went up to you and today, hey, cutbacks, AI, economy, you're going to make $180 less a month on your take-home pay. Take that out of your food budget. How would you do? Because I know a lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. And if you lost $180 a month from your paychecks, would that impact the way you were able to feed your family? So I want to sponsor a SNAP family. MarkAram.com. Contact us. And if you want to, and again, I'm not asking anyone else to do this, but if you're in the position where you are not food insecure, you're not worried about paying the grocery tab, and you want to sponsor a SNAP family too, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of folks requesting sponsorship for this. You can go to markaram.com and click contact us, and we're going to verify this. We're not just going to take anyone off the street to show that they are receiving SNAP benefits, that they have kids, and that they're going to need some assistance so their kids aren't food insecure. So if you want to help out as well, please do. Just go to markaram.com, contact us, and we'll try to verify and get some needy families. But the cruelty of it all, from Halloween, which is kids' paradise, food-wise, it's like you're living Willy Wonka's dream on the 31st, and then the next day you're like Charlie Bucket and his 4 grandparents in the bed eating porridge. It's just there's a level of cruel irony there that I just don't like. So markaram.com, contact us. All right, when we come back, we do have some big stories to get a hold of, including Hurricane Melissa, where it is now and what it's done thus far. Right now, though, at 9:17 on the Mark Aram Show, we got to check your drive around town live with the latest. Good morning, Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. And much better morning for you now on the southeast leg of the perimeter. A crash that had a couple center lanes blocked moved to the right shoulder, 285 westbound, the inner loop just before Boulder Crest Road, exit 51. Still sluggish as you leave I-20, but those delays are improving. That's the good news. Trouble just off to the right found here in Midtown, 75-85 southbound, getting past 10th Street. All lanes are back open, but 75 south still sluggish as you leave West Paces Ferry. 85 and 400 also jammed up as you try to make your way down to the Brookwood Split. This support is brought to you by Get in the Zone AutoZone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the Zone AutoZone. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
WSB is looking for a home for Carlisle. Chris Chandler here from Atlanta's Morning News. She is our new dog of the month with Paws Atlanta. Medium size, they tell us, and has lived with cats just fine. Meet Carlisle at WSBRadio.com. Our sponsor, Findlay Roofing, will pay the adoption fee for you, too. Again, WSBRadio.com/dog.
When your termite bond renewal comes in the mail, do you cringe wondering, how much more are they going to charge me now? I want you to switch your termite protection to Breda Pest Management, and your termite rate is locked in for 10 years. Hey friends, it's Mark Aram. When was the last time you actually saw your current service inspect your home for termite damage? Let me guess, they just walk around outside and check the bait stations. Well, it's the termites inside that could be eating your home. Feel safe with Breda's early detection process using advanced technology. They'll inspect inside and out, giving you total peace of mind that your home is termite-free. Termites, the most destructive bug of all, but Breda is so confident they guarantee your protection, and only Breda will lock in your termite rate for 10 years. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like termites. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Welcome to Window Wisdom with North Georgia Replacement Windows. Today, we're talking with the experts about Infinity from Marvin Fiberglass Windows. Ted Kirk and Jonathan Cullum, owners of North Georgia Replacement Windows.
Jonathan, many people may think a window is a window. Tell us how the Infinity fiberglass window is different.
Well, fiberglass is a thermoset material instead of a thermoplastic like vinyl and most other composite windows. This means other windows will be disfigured by extreme heat and cold, whereas a thermoset fiberglass window will not.
We do experience some extreme climates in Georgia sometimes. What does this mean for homeowners when it comes to windows?
Very simply, other windows lose their energy efficiency over time, but the Infinity fiberglass windows have a fit that never quits and energy efficiency that lasts. Our windows are the most durable, long-lasting solution available.
Energy efficiency is very important, but what do the windows look like? Will we have to compromise on the looks of the windows?
Not at all. Infinity windows are beautiful, not big and bulky like vinyl windows. Our windows are designed to look like traditional wood windows without the upkeep.
Okay, so the window material is durable and the product looks great. What can a homeowner expect during the installation?
We understand that this may be your one and only window replacement project, so we keep you updated every step of the way. Your detailed installation will be quick, clean, and hassle-free. We also stand behind all of our installations with a lifetime service warranty.
Thank you, Ted and Jonathan, for helping to simplify the window shopping process. To schedule your free consultation, visit them online at ngwindows.com. Check out this month's special offers, saving you money and making it easier to put the very best windows and doors in your home with huge discounts and flexible payment plans. Act quickly, these are limited time offers. Log on to ngwindows.com and click on the special offers tab.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
Many are still in shock. Some are very much anxious now about the future, great uncertainty.
That's Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, talking about what is going on in Jamaica after the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, tracking Hurricane Melissa. And joining us on the Mark Arum Show, correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, good morning. Hurricane Melissa, what is her status now, and what has she left in her wake?
Yeah, Melissa is still out there. Let's not forget. At around 8 o'clock this morning, the National Hurricane Center said maximum sustained winds for Melissa were 105 miles per hour. It's moving much faster now, though, at 21 miles per hour, and Bermuda seems to be in the crosshairs as the storm is still expected to be a hurricane when it goes past Newfoundland. There it is, a Cat 2 hurricane still out there threatening Bermuda at this point. Of course, Bermuda well equipped to handle a Cat 2 storm. This one really is going into the record books for being the Cat 5 monster it was when it hit the western side of Jamaica this week.
I'm really bad at geography, Rory, but did I hear you say Newfoundland?
Yeah, as a Cat 1 hurricane still. So that would be going all the way up the coast of the eastern seaboard, then up toward, again, past Nova Scotia toward Newfoundland. It'll be pretty close and may still be a hurricane then. You know, the forecast by the National Hurricane Center has had a very narrow cone. We've got a pretty strong cold front that's going to push this storm right along the way, so they're confident of the trajectory. And again, this is going to be a problem for the North Atlantic.
I know we're still trying to get information from the areas in the Caribbean that were the hardest hit, but I'm assuming it's Jamaica and Cuba that took the brunt of Melissa the hardest.
That's right. And, we are getting a death toll coming out of Haiti and the island of Hispaniola. Remember, one of the issues with Melissa was at the time it was moving so slowly. A big storm as a tropical storm dumping a lot of rain, more than 3 feet of rain in spots. Sadly, it's the flooding we believe has killed many people in Haiti. We really don't have a good number of the casualty count in Jamaica. They're still trying to do damage assessments and reach people who still could be saved at this point. As tragically, we think that death toll is going to climb, but a lot of this is still early going. Most of the power grid for the western half of Jamaica has been wiped out. Communications is very difficult, but right now the focus is trying to find people who need immediate assistance.
All right, terrible storm and a geography lesson. Newfoundland, it's heading north. Just confirming that Newfoundland was still well north of Haiti, Cuba, and Jamaica. Thank you for that reminder, Rory.
Thanks, Mark.
That's pretty crazy that it's going to be a Cat 1 hurricane in Newfoundland. I don't. That's way north. That's insane. If you want to help out, there are the consulate, the Dominican consulate, and the Cuban consulate and Jamaican consulate. They are now asking for assistance, getting donations to reliable organizations, including Delta Airlines, Caribbean International Shipping Services, Iriman Cafe, World of Life International Church of God, and Caribbean Life TV and the NNS Caribbean Market. I'll tweet out a link of all the ways you can help out Melissa. But again, Rory is right. The death toll now is not going to be the death toll once we get the recovery. There are still some areas of Jamaica that are inaccessible. And even worse damage perhaps in Haiti and certain areas of Cuba, but devastating. Second strongest Atlanta hurricane of all time. Definitely thoughts and prayers to those folks. All right, we're getting some traction at markaram.com on the sponsor of Snap Family. Again, I'm not asking anyone to do anything. I'm just looking for a family that is about to lose their Snap benefits, preferably with children, where I can, be a bridge until those SNAP benefits are reinstated after the government reopens. We already had one amazing person reach out. They want to sponsor a family as well. Again, I'm not asking for anyone, just folks that might be losing their SNAP benefits. markaram.com. Click on the Contact Us button. All right, when we come back, we're going to update our top local stories and maybe some good news. The Fed has dropped the interest rate again. Caleb Silver from Investopedia breaks it down next on The Mark Arum Show.
You're building a deck or adding a room, that's wonderful. But if you skip hiring an architect trying to save money, well, the builder's going to need drawings anyway. They're going to hire an architect regardless and mark up their fees to you. That's why it's smarter to start your project at Sketchhouse. Hi, I'm Richard Taylor, architect at Sketchhouse. At Sketchhouse, we'll make sure your plans are code and zoning compliant, they'll be creative, and they will look great. You're going to save thousands of dollars with Sketchhouse Architects. We're going to make this easy for you. Go to sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, H-A-U-S, sketchhouse.com.
Don't be haunted by those old stains in your carpet. Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning to get 3 rooms clean for only $129. Mention WSB when you call or schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
Buried in tax debt? Call the experts. Forbes ranked #1. Their seasoned attorneys take over immediately. Get the outcome you need with a free confidential consultation. Don't wait. Call 800-516-8408 or visit 5startaxresolution.com.
To paraphrase one of my favorite movie quotes, because you want the best of the best of the best, sir. If you know what movie that's from, kudos to you. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. When it comes to my home internet, I want the best of the best of the best, sir. And I'm sure you do as well. The best in-home internet, whether it's Wi-Fi, anything you need, it's from my friends at Xfinity. And imagine if your Wi-Fi was a lot smarter than it was now. Not just faster, more reliable, but smarter. Picture it. Devices so in sync, you'll think they're telepathic. Really smart Wi-Fi that knows when your device needs a boost, and Wi-Fi that can shield your kids from online threats. All of that available from Xfinity. Truly the best of the best of the best. That's the magic of Xfinity. Imagine that. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Online at Xfinity.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Dr. Roof. Our top story, watching a developing story this morning in a Buckhead, where a man has been charged in the fatal shooting of his son. Officers were called to the 55 Farr apartment complex on Farr Road about a dispute between a man and his girlfriend. The man's father also arrived. Lieutenant Christopher Butler says he took his son outside while they talked to the woman.
Officers heard gunshots. They responded outside and located a 32-year-old male suffering from multiple gunshot wounds deceased outside.
54-year-old Durant Tolliver is now charged with killing his son. Charges include murder and aggravated assault. No word yet, though, what led up to the shooting. It is 49 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitt says rain is gone, but the clouds stick around today. Look for breezy conditions. The high only stretching in the mid to upper 50s. Get a bit warmer tomorrow for Halloween. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Watching today's expected vote in the U.S. Senate to try and end the government shutdown, which has entered its 30th day. Senate set to adjourn for the weekend after today's session, with or without a budget deal. There has been some optimism, though, that a deal may be just a bit closer. It comes as SNAP benefits are set to run out Saturday without a budget. Meanwhile, Governor Kemp pushing back on calls for the state to cover the cost for the food aid program for Georgians.
It doesn't need to be on the table. Our senators should vote to reopen the government. It solves all these problems.
Now, Kemp says it's not clear whether the state would even be reimbursed if it does move funds to keep the program afloat. While Democrats are demanding renewed tax benefits from the Affordable Care Act, Republicans want a short-term funding plan in place first. We wait to see the next legal move from the attorneys for the Bartow County man facing federal charges for an alleged threat to shoot up Hartsfield-Jackson Airport after he was denied bond.
Mental health crisis, not malice. Defense attorneys tell U.S. Magistrate John Larkins Billy Cagle is back on his prescriptions for bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, a different person from the plotter prosecutors describe. The government says family revealed the 49-year-old had been drinking a lot and using coke and marijuana, possibly triggered by his marital separation. Denying bond, Judge Larkin says the safety risk is too high. Defense attorney Conrad Ziegler says they're treating this as a medical condition as serious as a heart attack, and with proper medical care, Cagle will be okay. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Made for Hollywood plot continues with more suspects in custody following this month's major heist in Paris.
Prosecutors in Paris say 5 more people have been arrested over the theft of the French crown jewels, making 7 suspects in custody so far. Saying police acted fast after learning one of the suspects had booked a one-way flight to Algeria.
Correspondent Vicky Barker says the jewels have not been recovered. It's feared they may have been melted down. And it's officially made it. A very popular toy set to get even more exposure.
Inflatable versions of the viral monster plushies will be part of the lineup at this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York. The doll's maker is calling it a Friendsgiving in Pop City.
Deborah Rodriguez reports Pop Mart says it'll be the first time the Labubus will visit North America. The company's looking to cash in with a pop-up shop in Manhattan as well. It's 9:33. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start in the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
And Judd, still watching a crash off to the right in Midtown, 7585 southbound, just past 14th Street, right before 10th Street. And flashing lights always add to the brake lights. And of course, delays continue on 75 southbound, south of Morris Mill Road, 85 southbound, slow at Georgia 400 through Northeast Atlanta. Just trying to get into Midtown with the morning volume. Crash still off to the right on the south side perimeter, 285 westbound, the interloop before Boulder Crest Road, exit 51. Sluggish as you leave Flat Shoals. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitt. Breezy, cool, partly to mostly cloudy through the day, high around 57. Tonight into tomorrow morning down to 42. Mostly sunny and 62 Friday. Saturday mostly sunny, low 40, high 65.
It is currently 49 degrees in McDonough, 48 in Woodstock, 49 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
This might help, young man. This might cure what ails you.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I run a stupid little radio show. I don't care. Have fun.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
Your friend, Eric Von Hessler, the common sense host.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
That whole situation, that roadblock is gone now. There's no roadblock at all on rare earth. That will hopefully disappear.
President Trump on board Air Force One after his meeting with Chinese President Xi. Some major headlines. We'll get to those stories. And The Fed dropping rates, how it's going to impact us. Next on the Mark Arum Show.
Hey, I'm not waiting till the last minute this year. My lights are already up. You should do the same. I'm Chris Chandler, and Wise Guys Pro Wash always keeps the exterior of my home looking great. So last week, I had their team out to install lights along the roof line of my home. They custom fit everything perfectly, and the best part, during the day, they blend right in. With one quick plug, then, the whole house comes to life. I'll turn them on the first week in November. I had them put up early to take advantage of their early bird pricing. One quick call, and I was scheduled in minutes. I can honestly say now, no hanging wires, no holes in the house. I've never felt so in love with the way my home looks. Wise Guys makes it easy. They provide the lights, install them, maintain everything during the season, and when it's over, they take it all down and store it for next year. Don't wait. Call Wise Guys today. Mention my name, Chris Chandler, when you book, and first-time customers save $150 when installed before October 31st. Spots are filling fast.
Hey, what's on your wish list this holiday season? It's Katie Kiley from my good friends at D. Geller & Son Jewelers. How about a trendy gold bracelet or personal birthstone necklace? Timeless diamond studs that you can upgrade for life. For guys, a bold new timepiece or curb-link chain. D. Geller & Son's been helping Atlanta with their jewelry wish list in a fun and laid-back atmosphere since 1939. Come on into the store to try on or mix and match. Sit down with an expert custom designer to build a jewelry box of your dreams. No pressure. D. Geller's got a trained staff of jewelers, not salespeople, to help you find the right fit, any style, any occasion, any budget. Treat yourself like I do to Atlanta's best selection of fashion trends like stackable rings and gemstone necklaces. D. Geller & Son's got the best values and staples like those diamond studs and engagement rings. So visit their showrooms in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs or online at dgeller.com.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody?
Phenomenal song, phenomenal talent. Grace Slick. Jefferson Airplane turns 86 years old. Is there any more 60s song than Somebody to Love? Is that just not a phenomenal song?
I mean, I'd probably think Doors, but yeah, that's up there.
I mean, just the
sure.
sound.
The
You hear that?
psychedelic sound, yes, for
You
sure.
hear that and you're like, oh, 60s. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. A lot of big stuff to talk about. Deborah's got tickets to give away. And Vinny, I'm sorry to say it'll be the 30th caller to win those tickets because today is day 30 of the government shutdown. Going to go in depth on what President Trump had to say after his meeting with his Chinese counterpart. President Trump wrapped up what appears to be a wildly successful Asia trip with some really good news out of his meeting with President Xi. But I'm concerned about our investments, our credit card debt. The Fed dropping interest rates again. Yes, covering the story for Investopedia. Caleb Silver. Caleb, good morning. What did the Fed say yesterday, and how does it impact the listeners?
Yeah, that was expected. We expected the Fed to cut rates yesterday, but we were also expecting a potential additional cut at the December meeting. But Fed Chair Powell is saying unequivocally that has not been decided yet. The rate policy is not determined for the future. We know there was a split among the Federal Reserve, with some Federal Reserve governors wanting a deeper cut, others saying we should just hold off right here while we see the impact of inflation and the jobs market. But without government data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, given the shutdown, not a lot of jobs data to go on there.
Yeah, so not unanimous. We'd had a couple of the governors that wanted a bigger rate increase. I think one said, let's not drop the rate at all, or decrease, I should say. All right, so where's the rate now, and what does that mean to our mortgages, our credit cards, et cetera?
Yeah, 3.25% to 4%. That's the range that federal funds are in right now. So that means for a 30-year fixed mortgage, you're still above 6%. The 30-year fixed mortgage, the most popular mortgage lending vehicle, responds to the Fed funds rate, but it also responds to the yield on government bonds. And that's a little sticky high right now. So the fact that the Fed and Fed Chair Powell saying there's no guarantee of another cut in December, that's going to hold mortgage rates kind of right where they are, above 6%, between 6 and 6.3%. For car loans, those have gone down a little bit as well, but you want to watch credit card APRs. Those have been north of 20%, as high as 24%. Those are going to start to drift lower as well. On the flip side, know that the money you've been earning in the bank through your high yield savings account or CDs, those rates are going down as well. So we'll earn less in the bank as rates go lower, although we might have some relief on those mortgage products and credit card products.
I know President Trump was in South Korea when this decision by the Fed was made, but I would assume he's happier than he was with the Fed.
Well, he would like deeper cuts and he would like them sooner. So the president wants lower interest rates because it does stoke the economy when you add, when you make lending cheaper. But he also wants lower interest rates because we pay almost $900 billion a year on our interest on our debt. We have such a large government debt as we overspend, and the fact that we have to pay that high of interest, if rates are lower, that reduces the amount of interest the government has to pay. It can use that money for other things, or it can offset the impact of tariffs.
Caleb, how did the markets react yesterday when this was announced, and what do we expect today on Wall Street?
Yeah, we were at all-time highs going into the Fed decision with the thinking that the Fed's going to keep lowering rates. Corporate profits are very strong right now, and there's a lot of deregulation. That's a great recipe for higher stock prices, and that's what we've seen even through all the concerns about the economy and tariffs and inflation. The stock market's been at record highs. It drifted off a little bit yesterday on Fed Chair Powell's remarks that there's no guarantee of another cut in December, and we're going to open lower today. But in general, the market's been at or near record highs for the past several months, and that's a trend that will probably continue until something big comes along. Maybe it's an economic hiccup, but it looks like the tariff negotiations are going well, and all of that is wind in the sails of the stock market.
Caleb Silver, Investopedia. Caleb, great stuff as always. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, there's Caleb Silver. Unfortunately, the markets are not reacting positively yet. Dow's down 50, S&P's down 50, and the Nasdaq's down 313 points. But as Caleb mentioned, we are still in record territory. 47,593 current Dow Jones Industrial Average, Deborah, which, as you know, well above that 45,000 number that I want. So we'll monitor the markets throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. All right, some big headlines out of the meeting between President Trump and President Xi. They have ended their bilateral meeting in South Korea. CBS's Linda Kenyon with more.
They met for close to 2 hours behind closed doors. The leaders of the world's two largest economies made brief comments to the media at the start of the meeting, but they said nothing when it was over. The topic going in was trade, but coming out, there was no indication about whether a deal had been reached to end or perhaps even cool current trade tensions.
Yeah, we did hear from President Trump, so he didn't speak after the meeting, but bam, Air Force One. He's like, let them rip. Let's get the questions. This is what it sounded like when they first met at that summit in South Korea. This is President Trump.
We will be having some discussions. I think we've already agreed to a lot of things, and we'll agree to some more right now. But President Xi is a great leader of a great country. We're going to have a fantastic relationship for a long period of time.
So obviously a very positive feeling there. Now, this is the voice of the translator of President Xi Jinping. I would imagine, Deborah, if I hope this doesn't come across as sexist, but when I'm hearing a male world leader talk, I want the translation to be a male. And if it's a female,
I get it, sure.
Like the Japanese prime minister, female.
Like you'd be hearing subtitles in a
Exactly.
Netflix show.
Like
yes.
I'm watching a foreign Netflix show. Anyway, so this is a female voice, but she is translating President Xi.
Given our different national conditions, we do not always see eye to eye with each other. And it is normal for the two leading economies of the world to have frictions now and then.
There you go. So that's the translator of President Xi Jinping. President Trump on Air Force One talking a lot about what happened behind closed doors. We didn't really get a debriefing at the summit, but we did on Air Force One.
I was so busy, and really this is why we came. I think it would have been maybe disrespectful to the importance of this meeting if we did that. So I'd come back with respect to Kim Jong-un. I'd come back. So
he was asked there if why he didn't meet with the North Korean leader, but obviously, I mean, more important things taking place.
Overall, I guess on the scale of from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was a 12.
A meeting was a 12. And one of the most important things for me, Deborah, was the fact that President Trump on Air Force One, I'll find the audios, I'm just going to paraphrase him here, saying that China has finally agreed to buy our soybeans, which has been a huge, huge issue here for American farmers. They've been growing soybeans specifically to sell to China, and China, because of the trade war, they bought zero soybeans from us. So all these poor soybean farmers have been sitting on this crop. Now there's call. I mean, I'm assuming this story happened, Deborah, before we got word from China about the soybean purchase. But farmers are asking for a bailout, or excuse me, demanding a bailout from the government.
Yeah, well, the Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins found these funds. There's this Depression-era program that could reopen USDA offices and distribute about $3 billion in aids to farmers that have been affected from the government shutdown and this trade war. So that basically means like 2 people in every office, which still isn't a lot.
Yeah.
But it's a little momentum. It's just not enough, though. Farmers are saying, hey, you know, we plan for years. It's not like we can just stop production. You can't just stop growing beans.
Yeah.
There's not enough places
Sure.
to store them. There's spoilage involved. So they're basically saying, you've done all this work with China. You've done all this work with Argentina. What about us? Because one of the things that the president campaigned on was putting Americans back to work. And so now they feel a little bit slighted that, you know, he's doing all this global things and there's nothing for them. Now, I believe that they said possibly some of the tariff money would go to help farmers, but so far nothing's been in place. There hasn't been like, we're going to help these people or that. So farmers are saying, hey, we need a bailout.
Yeah, and I believe it was in President Trump's first term, he did give the farmers a bailout, which I don't think anyone on any side of the political aisle had an issue with. Like, they feed not just America, but the world. And the farmers did nothing wrong. They were like, we've been making our money selling soybeans to China for the last 10 years, so that's a profitable crop. Let's keep doing it. Not expecting China to be like, all right, we're done with U.S. soybeans.
And the previous bailout, I think, had to do more with weather and like hurricanes and things like that. And so it's not like they made bad business decisions. You had a hurricane come through and destroy crops. There's really no way to kind of overcome that as easily.
Yeah, but hopefully some good news if that is true, what we heard from President Trump on Air Force One, that China has agreed to start buying U.S. soybeans. But I mean, listen, we're the President Xi Jinping said this, we're the 2 biggest global powers, economic powers in the world. And he said, we're going to have, let me see if I can find the audio. I don't want to paraphrase the president of China, lest I get in trouble. Talking about the economic powers of these 2 states.
And in the face of winds, waves, and challenges, you and I, at the helm of China-U.S. relations, should stay the right course and ensure the steady sailing forward of the giant ship of China-U.S. relations.
So it could be a bumpy relationship when you're number 1 versus number 2, like Georgia versus Alabama back in the day. You're going to have a tenuous relationship sometimes. I wonder if farmers right now, Deborah, are like, you know what? We got to start transitioning to non-soybean products. Like they don't want this to happen again. If, God forbid, a trade war pops up again and tariffs, maybe they're like, all right, we're going to trade. But you mentioned you can't like just snap your fingers and go, oh, soybeans to corn or soybeans.
And a lot of people, like I grew up working in a granary rich as corn, and you'll rotate the field. So 1 year is corn, 1 year is soy, but it's hard to plan that far in advance. If, you thinking you're going to sell it, all of a sudden there's no market to sell to. You don't go corn immediately the next day.
I'm trying to think the biggest agricultural product purchased in my house. Avocados. Switch from soybeans to avocados. Those things sell like hotcakes. All right, when we come back, we've got a new collaboration between Georgia Tech and NASA. Whoa! We'll tell you about that after we check the ride around town. Here's Mike Shields.
And Mark, watching delays continue in Gwinnett County, 85 southbound as you leave Duluth, and 316 working your way through Norcross, getting down to I-285. All volume, but still sluggish from 316 down to 285. Things have improved on Georgia 400. Now just waves of volume as you leave Holcomb Bridge Road, exit 7, and Roswell, getting down to I-285 in Sandy Springs. And 75 southbound cleaning up, just a little sluggish now from Delk Road down to I-285 in Truist Park. This report is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Learn more about their support of common threads and nutrition education at anthem.com/stream. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is a trade name of Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthcare Plan of Georgia, Incorporated. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
The U.S. is investing up to $1 billion to fight the spread of bird flu.
At the top and bottom of every hour.
Traffic congestion around Metro Atlanta continues to cost commuters.
And when it breaks.
The suspect is in critical condition after being struck multiple times.
Check back 3, 4, 5 times a day for the latest.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Hey, you spotted your termite guy strolling around the yard. Is he just getting his steps in? Does he even know where your bait stations are? Mark Aram here. Ask them to show me the bait stations. If they can't, it's time to switch to Breda Pest Management with a complete liquid barrier, not bait stations, plus early detection both inside and out. And your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
We're having a party and you're invited. Join Centerwell Senior Primary Care for our free grand opening party. Come meet our care team and tour the new center. Plus, food, music, games, and more. Celebrate with Centerwell East Paulding on Wednesday, November 5th, off Charles Hardy Parkway near the Walmart from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Learn more at CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. We'll see you soon.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Channel 2 Action News this morning is the best place to be for breaking news.
So much is happening, and we're on it. Our reporters are the first to know in your community, bringing you fresh information, the best video.
We know you depend on us. It's why we're everywhere live to prepare you for the day ahead.
In the morning, see what's new.
Don't miss a day. Join us. Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
1 in 8 women will face breast cancer. But the Breast Cancer Research Foundation is changing that. With breakthroughs in prevention and treatment, we're not just saving lives, we're rewriting the future, giving those diagnosed more time to not just survive, but thrive. This is the moment. This is the mission. Support breast cancer research. Until 1 in 8 is none in 8.
9:53 on the Mark Arum Show. Another chilly day in the A. Brad Nitz' full 5-day forecast. He's filling in for Christina Edwards coming up at the top of the hour. After the news at 10, we're going to go live to D.C., get the latest on day 30 of the government shutdown and the big headlines that came out of President Trump's meeting with Xi Jinping in a wildly successful Asia trip. I mean, I think it was worth the sky miles for the president to go over there to Malaysia and Japan and South Korea, because knocking out, what was it, $500 billion in investment from Japan and Korea, likewise, $10 billion from Toyota, and maybe China's going to start buying some soy and rare earth minerals too. I've been putting this off because I think it's kind of a dry topic, rare earth minerals, right? I say that and people are like, what? but I think it's so important. I'm going to try to find a segment in today's show. We're going to go in depth, and so we can explain why rare earth minerals are so important and why it's now a thing in the news. All right, this is a really cool story. Our friends down the street on North Avenue, Georgia Tech, now in a collab. That's what the kids call it, right? A collab with NASA. That's high cotton, Deborah. What are they collabing with?
Yeah, this is really cool. Georgia Tech teaming up with NASA to design prototypes for autonomous flying vehicles. So you know how much you love the Waymo, right? And we've seen all these things about flying cars. We're supposed to have them already, the Jetsons said. But now they want to do, remember those, they kind of look like the helicopters. And you've seen them out west a little bit more, but they want them to be almost like Waymos, how you see Waymos everywhere. So Georgia Tech and NASA are working on prototypes to make them a little bit easier and more accessible all over the place. So maybe your next Waymo will be an autonomous helicopter.
I'm down. Because I've had a lot of experience in helicopters. I love, in the WSB Skycopter. Now, that was a former military pilot, which I had full faith in to get me to and fro safely. But just talking to normal people, they are freaked out about Waymo, the Waymo cars. Vinny will not get in one.
They are, you know how you said they're kind of jerks? I was behind one this morning, and it was kind of a jerk, the way he was like, going in the other lane, like almost looking to see and going. And
they have trained the Waymo autonomous vehicles to behave like Atlanta drivers, which probably makes sense, right? If you're going to fit in with Atlanta traffic, you can't be someone that has never driven in a big city before. So the AI or whatever is involved technologically with the Waymo cars, they had to program to be a typical Atlanta driver, which can be aggressive, which can, kind of. Like one of the two Waymos that I took, like the light was turning yellow, and so Waymo did what we all did. Oh, we're gonna hit the gas, go a little faster. I would do the Waymo helicopter. I wish I can give it to credit. Someone on Facebook made this point, and I think it was one of our coworkers. Dagnabbit. I apologize. I want to give whoever posted this credit, but they said they saw a Waymo driving on the streets yesterday. It was raining, and the Waymo car. No driver, robotic-driven car, no one in the driver's seat, in the rain, had its windshield wipers on. Why?
I'm sure that it still senses, right?
But why, if the robot's not looking through is that just for the peace of mind of the passenger in the back seat so they could see?
Probably, right? So you can see what's coming up. I mean, backseat drivers.
Oh, I wish I remember who posted that. I was like, that's a good question. Why is the driverless car got its windshield wipers on in the rain? All right, any more rain in our forecast? I hope not. Brad Nitz's full 5-day coming up. When we come back, the latest on the big Asia trip from President Trump and the government shutdown. Yeah, day 30. We're going to talk to Ed O'Keefe from CBS. He is in D.C. He is live next on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Protect your turf from termites. Call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda's proud to sponsor Scott Slade's Georgia every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Hey friends, have you filed an insurance claim for a roof replacement only to be denied? Are you not sure what to do? You're not alone. Dr. Roof here to help. Hey, it's Mark Arum. Dr. Roof specializes in reviewing the storm damage and getting your roof replaced. They've been around for over 37 years and can help you with all of your options. Don't settle for a denied or partial insurance claim. Get the roof you deserve with Dr. Roof online at drroof.com.
If you're seeing dust on the baseboards, it's time to call Zerorez Air Duct Cleaning. Mention WSB to get $50 off your next cleaning. Use promo code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZeroRezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Air. A dispute this morning escalates into gunfire in Buckhead. A father now charged with killing his son.
The shooting in the parking lot of the Far Road apartment complex comes after an earlier argument between a man and his girlfriend, which brought the man's father and Atlanta police to the scene. Officers were actually inside the apartment talking to the woman at the time of the shooting.
While on scene, one of the involved parties exited the residence. Officers heard gunshots. They responded outside.
Lieutenant Christopher Butler says the 32-year-old died from multiple gunshot wounds. 54-year-old Durante Tolliver now facing multiple charges, including murder. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Today, you're going to expect partly to mostly cloudy skies. A little bit breezy. Afternoon highs around 57, says Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz. He'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. Rescue and recovery efforts underway on the island nation of Jamaica, where Jason Allen's reporting this morning from the capital city of Kingston. He talked to one woman and her appeal for help.
This morning, the people of Jamaica are picking up the pieces after Hurricane Melissa, as nearly 80% of the island nation still doesn't have power.
Roof has gone, clothes has wet up. I need some help. Please, I need some help.
Now, Melissa pounded Jamaica with 185-mile-an-hour winds before moving on, the storm claiming at least 28 lives in the Caribbean, mostly in Haiti. This is new this morning. The GBI is investigating after the remains of a child are found in the trunk of a woman's car in Hull County. 36-year-old Jessica Maria Moats reportedly told her father that she had hurt somebody and she thinks she's dead. The victim, a 4-year-old girl. Moats is booked into the Hull County Jail without bond. She's facing a charge of felony concealing the death of another. Careful who you find on social media to do some work around your house. The Cobb County Sheriff's Office saying a man offering handyman services on Nextdoor and Facebook, well, he would take deposits for jobs from homeowners, but then he'd disappear. Jeffrey Jones facing multiple charges, including theft by taking, theft by conversion, and theft by deception. So far, as many as 4 victims have been identified. Police say there may be more. President Trump says he's ordered the Pentagon to immediately start testing nuclear weapons in response to tests being conducted by other nations. We get more this morning from Ed O'Keefe at the White House.
The president said in a social media post that he wants to resume those tests on a, quote, equal basis with Russia and China. It would be a major shift since the U.S. hasn't carried out such tests since the early 1990s. The president offered no details about the timing of the specific tests by other countries he was referring to.
Now, the U.S. voluntarily halted nuclear explosive testing in 1992. Improving relations with China. Rachel Scott reporting on the meeting between President Trump and China's president.
President Trump emerging from his nearly 2-hour-long meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping to announce a truce in the trade war. We have a deal. The president says he will cut his tariffs on Chinese goods by 10%.
And new this morning, we have now learned that the U.S. says China has agreed to purchase 25 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans each year as part of the agreement. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 204 at 47,836. So the Dow's up almost 0.5%. NASDAQ's down more than 0.5%. And the S&P's also in the red. Let's get a check of the roads, and for that, we turn now to Smiling Mark McKay. How are we doing out there?
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. We are in the construction zone, a busy spot in Lawrenceville. Delays in all directions at the intersection of Lawrenceville Highway and Sugarloaf Parkway. That, of course, will last throughout the day as crews continue their work just west of downtown Lawrenceville. Rolling out of Duluth, Lawrenceville, and into Norcross, still leftover slow traffic on I-85 as you approach Pleasant Hill Road. Inside the perimeter, 85 is eased up in Brookhaven. Still slow as you roll south toward Midtown, leaving Georgia 400, and the northbound connector is still on the brakes as you leave University Avenue, Georgia State Center Park Stadium up to John Lewis Freedom Parkway. Smiling Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Breezy, cool, partly to mostly cloudy through the day, high around 57.
Tonight into tomorrow morning down to 42. Mostly sunny and 62 Friday. Saturday mostly sunny, low 40, high 65.
It is 48 degrees right now in Sugar Hill. Brookhaven has 49, and it's 49 here in Midtown Atlanta. We'll have more news at 10:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Thursday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The Core 4 with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program, Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls. Coming up in just a couple minutes, going live to D.C., updating the government shutdown and the big Trump-Xi summit in Korea. Apparently, we're going to see lower tariffs, China easing rare earth mineral restrictions, and China's going to buy a blank ton of soybeans from the United States, which is great news for those embattled soybean farmers in the Midwest. So we're going to check in with Ed O'Keefe from CBS in just a moment. Deborah, we do have tickets to give away today, correct?
Yeah, we have tickets to give away
What
today.
do we have?
We've got tickets to go see Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening.
All right, we're going to give those away after the 11:30 news, and Justin Gray from Channel 2 is also going to join us in that last half hour of the program. I do want to update a couple of international stories, including Israel and Gaza. We went live to Robert Berger in Jerusalem yesterday, hopeful that the ceasefire will hold despite the ongoing escalating tensions between Israel and Hamas. The latest headline this morning in Gaza, Israel bombed sites controlled by Hamas following the killing of an Israeli soldier. The latest worry for the ceasefire that's been shaken frequently comes after an Israeli soldier was killed in what is Gaza. CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb has more.
Gaza has returned to burying its dead after Israel launched a series of airstrikes after an Israeli soldier was killed in a Hamas attack near the ruins of the southern city of Rafah. Dozens of Palestinians died in the renewed strikes, including children. I plead to all the Arab nations to stand with us for the sake of God, said Abu Aweda as he carried the remains of his nephew.
All right, so that's the latest between Israel and Hamas. I don't have anything new on Russia-Ukraine, although apparently President Trump did bring up the Russia-Ukraine war with President Xi, and I was hopeful that he would in that, as China is basically the last country standing that is assisting, well, I guess Iran is kind of in North Korea, but the big one, right? China has been assisting Russia in that Russia-Ukraine war, but President Trump said they did bring that up in their conversation. I do have an international story, one more international story. More headaches for Britain's disgraced prince.
I'm Vicky Barker in London. King Charles has cut off his royal allowance. He's had to stop using his royal titles over his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. And now Prince Andrew is being investigated by a parliamentary finance committee probing
whether he is still a suitable tenant of Windsor Lodge.
Committee Chairman Jeffrey Clifton Brown. That lodge is the 30-room mansion on the grounds of Windsor Castle where Andrew lives with his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson. He's resisted pressure from King Charles to move out. Now Parliament is piling on the pressure. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
I'm seeing a pattern here. Okay, so King Charles is the older brother of Prince Andrew.
Yes.
So Prince Andrew, barring a catastrophe, was never going to be king. It was
Never.
going to be his older brother. The King Charles's two sons,
William and Harry.
William and Harry. William is the heir. He's going to be the next king. Harry has no chance of being it. He's now like,
like fifth or sixth,
Is it just too much pressure to be that second son in the hierarchy that you can't just stay out of trouble? Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
'cause,
saying?
Like you don't have responsibility, but you want the attention or something.
I mean, if you're born, and again, I'm not in Prince Harry's shoes. I don't know what's going on. He married the beautiful girl from some Suits, so I'm not judging there. I'm not into his shoes. I'm certainly not in Prince Andrew's shoes. But if you're born into royalty as the second son, you're not going to be king. You don't have to worry about that. Is there a cushier existence? Like I would do anything not to screw that up.
Yeah, you really don't have to do anything.
You don't have
right?
to. You have to cut ribbons. You have to
Wave in parades.
Pay court calls. Like that. Like what a. I don't. Yeah, cushy. What a. You don't have to. You're the second son. You don't. We saw the pressure that Queen Elizabeth had when she was thrust into the monarchy. Prince Charles had to wait 50 years to become king, and now you're the face of the monarch. You don't have that. You're the second son. I'm basically saying this to my little brother. You're the second son, man. You have the cushy life. There's no pressure on you. Pressure's on me.
Yeah, but they want to be you. They want to be king.
Why?
Is that
I don't know. They just. I mean, that's just nature.
It's the better gig, I guess. But there's got to be something to that. Some historian could probably verify this.
Older sibling, younger sibling, right?
Well, yeah, but it extrapolated to the monarchy. Like, I'm making no excuses for Prince Andrew. Like, what the hell, man? Like, not just Harry by comparison looks like a saint. You're Prince Andrew. You don't have to do anything for the rest of your life. You're taken care of. So what do? Oh, I'm going to be friends with Jeffrey Epstein and go to his island. What? What are you doing? What? Disgusting. Anyway, another part of that story. He still lives with his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson?
Well, they have a free house, right? And it's quite large. It's not like
All
they
right.
can see each other. I'm sure they each have separate wings.
You're Sarah Ferguson in this scenario,
Fergie.
Deborah. You're Fergie. You divorce your ex-husband. And you still get a free house. All right, maybe we'll share because it's a free house.
Yeah.
But your ex-husband is shamed because he was on Epstein Island and there's all this proof that he was doing awful things. You want to share, even if it's a free house, do you still want to live with that dude?
Of course not. And she's lost her titles and people don't want to be associated with her anymore, even though they've been split for quite a while.
Anyway, we'll get a royal expert on. There's something about the pressure of being a second son. I don't know if Ed O'Keefe is the eldest child, the middle child, or the baby child, but he joins us live from CBS News on the Mark Arum Show. Good morning, Ed. Thanks for your time.
I am the oldest of three. I am the heir, not the spare.
You are the heir. That's the phrase I was looking for, the heir, not the spare. Ed, thanks so much, man. A lot of big headlines coming out of the bilateral meeting with President Trump and President Xi. Where do you want to start? What do you think's the biggest headline coming out of that meeting?
Well, it's what the president says happened, and it's going to take us several days of that week to set out what actually did happen in that meeting. Remember, he went over to Asia touting this overnight meeting as the biggest moment of the trip, and it sure, from public appearances, seemed to go well. They met for about an hour and 40 minutes, and the president says they discussed trade, they discussed curbing the flow of fentanyl or supplies for it to the United States. They're going to ease up on the limits they put on rare earth minerals being exported to the United States so that things like batteries and other key technologies can be finished. And, says that the Chinese are going to start buying soybeans again from American farmers who've been growing them for years on the expectation that they would. And earlier this year, they started buying them instead from Argentina. So if you believe the president, everything went really well. Here's the thing. They have a way of coming out of these kinds of meetings, and then over the course of several days, once the paperwork surfaces or the other side talks, we find out it wasn't quite as great as it may have seemed initially. But to have these two meet at all, to say they're going to meet again, the president says he's going to go to China in April, and to say there's general agreement on these things is encouraging, important, and would be, at least on the surface, a big success for the White House.
Yeah, and I think that it's important to reiterate. So after they met, we heard from both leaders before the meeting, but then after the meeting, we didn't hear from them until we heard from President Trump on board Air Force One talking to reporters, where we got this information about the rare earth, the tariffs, the soybeans, and the meeting with him going to China in April. Let's start with the tariffs. Did President Trump give any firm numbers on what the tariff situation might be now after this meeting?
He says basically tariffs on China will go down to 47% from 57% and won't hit that 100% that was being threatened next month if they couldn't come to an agreement. So they're coming down a little bit, but they still exist. And it's because they've agreed to do all those things I mentioned, whether it's curbing the flow of illegal drugs, buying soybeans, or freeing up the ability to purchase rare earth minerals. So, again, for now, that's what he does. But as you guys know, as any of your listeners even casually following the president know, he has a way of throwing around tariff rates as a threat on a fairly regular basis. So something by the end of the weekend could upset him that he decides to jack him up again.
President Trump also mentioned a couple of international stories that he said he discussed with President Xi, including Russia, Ukraine, the ongoing war there. Did the president give any clarification on Air Force One on what was discussed about that war?
Not terribly. What he's hoping essentially China will do is back off its general support of Russia and its purchasing of Russian oil. It appears he's convinced India to do that. If China were to stop buying Russian oil, it would pretty much be economically at least game over for Russia. So it may be difficult for China to do that. He did suggest that the Chinese may end up buying more American energy, whether that's oil or gas, and as an alternative. But it's unclear that the U.S. would be able to make up for what Russia is providing China. Again, the hope is that he can use these other big leaders to squeeze the Russians and compel them to finally seek a resolution of the war in Ukraine.
Ed O'Keefe from CBS News joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. President Trump asked if Taiwan came up in the discussion with his Chinese counterpart. He said, it didn't. Yeah, it didn't come up.
Which, again, it would be hard to believe the Chinese would let that go. And if they did, that's an encouraging sign for the United States, and certainly a sign that she understood that this was a meeting that had to focus on more economic concerns than geopolitical ones. But normally, whenever a U.S. president speaks to the Chinese leader, there has to be discussion of Taiwan, or at least a reiteration of U.S. position on it, which is essentially that, yes, Taiwan exists, but ultimately China can seek to get its hands on it. Of course, the U.S. has a policy, or at least has said, that were Taiwan ever to be attacked, the United States would help defend it.
I don't know, Ed, if this came out of the president's conversation on Air Force One with reporters, but the big headline was that President Trump said the United States is going to start testing nuclear weapons again.
So he made this statement on his social media platform just before the meeting began, and it was seen initially as sort of a way to rattle the Chinese or sort of say, hey, we're paying attention to what you've been doing. Russia, we know, has tested some missiles in recent weeks that could be nuclear capable or capable of carrying nuclear weaponry on them. China has also tested sort of the way they launch them. So what he's saying is, well, if they're all doing this, we've got to do this. But provided no other details. What exactly would we be testing? In what form? Because remember, you can launch them from air, from sea, and from land. So which one of those would the United States, in what they call its nuclear triad, want to start testing again? We haven't done this since tests in Nevada in the early 1990s, and then President George H.W. Bush put a ban to it as part of the denuclearization talks that were underway with Russia at the time. So for him to say we might do this again is a new development and something that appeared to catch the defense secretary off guard when he was asked about it while he's traveling in Asia, and also the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, when he was asked about it this morning, saying, I don't have any idea what the president's talking about there.
Interesting. Final question for you. At day 30 of the government shutdown, anything scheduled this morning on the Senate floor or in Capitol Hill trying to get an end to this government shutdown?
As of now, there is not, but the day is young. They would likely go home today, the Senate would, with no resolution, and then not come back until next week. If this thing hits next Wednesday, it is the longest government shutdown in U.S. history.
Ed O'Keefe.
Cards and flowers to your member of Congress.
There you go. Ed O'Keefe, the heir, not the spare, CBS News.
Exactly.
Ed, always a pleasure. Thanks for your time, my friend.
Anytime. Take care.
All right. I do want to go a little bit further in depth on that Truth Social post that President Trump said about restarting nuclear tests here in the United States. I think that's a story worth covering a little bit further in depth. When we come back, is it possible Atlanta could get a new hospital? We'll explain after a quick check of your ride around town. It doesn't have to be quick, actually, but let's say hello and good morning to Smiling Mark McKay.
Quicker the better. That means the incidents have really come down from the morning drive. Mark, we are seeing trouble on the east side perimeter live on the jam cam. Two vehicles mixed up. Looks like they're waiting for DeKalb police, partially blocking the left lane on the inner loop, 285 southbound in Clarkston and East Ponce de Leon Avenue, exit 40. Trying to reach 285 through Tucker is slow due to construction in the right lane of Highway 78 westbound, leaving Brockett Road to I-285. All lanes of the connector northbound still slow. University Avenue exit 244 up to John Lewis Freedom Parkway. This report sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. Smile, Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
It's not as bad as it could be.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Hey, the ladies are at home. Let's smoke cigars.
Eric Von Hessler.
Some sort of cultural affirmation. Yes, I am this kind of man.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Selling and buying a home doesn't have to be a juggling act. With Orchard, you get cash up front to buy your next place, then more cash when your old home sells. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Wall cracks, window stuck, could be a foundation problem. Mark Beckham with Atlanta Ramjack, and our estimators are thoroughly trained to get you the proper evaluation for your home. Schedule your free assessment with the foundation repair experts at AtlantaRamjack.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Okay, some good news during a challenging time for everybody, and this could really help. You may know hundreds of thousands of people have already made the switch to Medi-Share, which is the affordable alternative to health insurance. And with so many people looking at how they're paying for healthcare right now, seeing premiums going up and the cost of healthcare, Medi-Share has a special offer, and a lot of people are taking advantage of it. Just apply by October 31st, and they'll waive your new member fee. You're saving $100 right off the bat. That's just the start. Obviously, the typical family saves up to $500 a month after making the switch. And Medi-Share is a Christian community that shared more than $9 billion in medical bills over the years. It's worked beautifully for decades. I'll give you the number here in a second. If you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings too. Here it is. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Is your main drain clogged? We'll get it unclogged from my pals at Reliable. Hey, it's Mark Aram with you. Check this out. An amazing deal. $89 main drain cleaning promo. Clear out your main drain with my friends at Reliable. Same-day service available. No hidden fees or extra charges for after hours or weekends. Don't be stressed by your main drain. Get it unclogged from Reliable. Book an appointment now online at reliableair.com or call or text 770-594-9969.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
When I was a kid, my dream wasn't a mansion. It wasn't a yacht. It was a 250cc Kawasaki dirt bike sitting in the garage. That garage and that bike represented freedom. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. At A1 Garage Door Service, we know your garage holds more than tools. It holds dreams. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one.
John, my guy, look who it is. Been too long.
Hey, Taylor.
Yeah, just trying to keep my head above water.
What's going on?
Well, the restaurant's bleeding. Back taxes are crushing me. IRS letters coming faster than drink orders.
Been there. I couldn't sleep for weeks. Then I called 5 Star Tax Help. Total game changer.
5 Star?
Yeah, they handled everything. Back taxes, penalties, payment plan. They've got seasoned tax attorneys who know exactly how to deal with the IRS. After 17 years, they're ranked #1 with Forbes and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Seriously? All right, I'm calling them now.
800-516-8408 or 5startaxhelp.com. The IRS doesn't wait.
Hi, this is Victor Latham, lead tax attorney at 5 Star Tax Help. If you're behind on taxes, don't wait. We've been solving tax problems for over 17 years. We're ranked #1 by Forbes, and we hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call us today at 800-516-8408 or visit 5startaxhelp.com. Let's get your peace of mind back before the IRS makes the next move.
Cheers, man. Next round's on me.
That is, if the IRS doesn't swipe it first.
I really hope my wife's not listening. 22 years ago today, the musical Wicked opened on Broadway. It's one of the songs in that Defying Gravity. I walked out at intermission, Deborah.
Of the play or the movie?
The play.
Really?
And I didn't make it through the movie either.
Wow.
It's not my bag, baby.
But you like Wizard, right? Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't live in a universe.
Musical for you?
This is 22 years after it opened, so this is not I can't live in a universe where the Wicked Witch of the West is not wicked. I can't.
She becomes wicked.
Well, I don't know. But Maya freaking loves that show.
I like Wicked. Yeah.
I know.
But I love the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Good stuff there from Ed O'Keefe. The air, not the spare. All right, tease this before the break, Deborah. Could we see a new hospital in Atlanta?
Yeah, part of the mayor's plan for, if he's elected again, you have all this stuff that they want to do for the city, and one of them is opening up a new hospital because there's been some couple of closures.
Yes.
And it's kind of putting pressure on too many, and the ones that are open aren't necessarily accessible to everybody easily. So they're trying to figure out how much does a new hospital cost, and where's the I know, right? Where's the best place they can put it? So the city has about 115 million funds that they can use for this hospital.
Okay.
But again, they just got to figure out where and when to place it.
Yeah, and I don't know the size or anything, but I think someone said when we were discussing the Arthur M. Blank Hospital at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta that was a $1.5 billion price tag. So, I mean, it doesn't have to have the bells and whistles of that, but I forgot the name of the hospital that closed in the city that put extra pressure on Grady and Piedmont. I don't know, but more hospitals, the better. I also want to talk about, we don't have to do it today, what's going to happen with these Medicaid cuts and rural hospitals and rural access to medicine and doctors and facilities in rural areas of Georgia might be a story worth following. But yeah, I'm all for it. Let's get another hospital here in the metro Atlanta area. Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, here's a name you didn't expect me to talk about today. Special Counsel Jack Smith. Why Mr. Smith is in the news, we'll explain next on The Mark Arum Show.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Channel 2 Extra News this morning is the best place to be for breaking news.
So much is happening, and we're on it. Our reporters are the first to know in your community, bringing you fresh information, the best video.
We know you depend on us. It's why we're everywhere live to prepare you for the day ahead.
In the morning, see what's new.
Don't miss a day. Join us. Channel 2 Extra News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. to restore your love life in just one visit. Call now, 404-885-8885.
The Love Your Home Minute from TE Certified. Hi, it's Chris Chandler with Josh, the local owner of TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. You know Josh. That's him you see jumping out of the back of their trucks, Josh. Welcome back. Tell me something unique you've had at your home that's not top of mind for maybe the rest of us.
It's my whole home generator. This is one of my favorite things. I forget I have it until the power goes out, and then all of a sudden I have internet, I have TV, I have a refrigerator, I can open my garage door, my pool pump runs, I have heat in the winter, I have cooling during the summer. We've put in tons of these for people that have medical equipment, they have refrigerators, they have freezers, they have aquariums, they have pools, even people with wine chillers. But most importantly, we put them in for people who don't want to be in the dark when the power goes out.
We've had every kind of weather this past few months, and in the newsroom, we know the biggest problem here when this happens is the power outages.
Your power goes out and you lose everything.
Great insight to Josh. I just added a whole home generator to my wish list.
TE Certified, we love your home.
At Shane Company, we've been engagement ring experts for almost 100 years. We have the largest selection of diamonds and gemstones in stock. You don't have to wait to compare them side by side. Find the one that speaks to you at shaneco.com or in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by your Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. The remains of a 4-year-old girl found in the trunk of a woman's car in Hull County. 36-year-old Jessica Maria Moats reportedly told her father that she had hurt someone and she thinks she's dead. Moats is booked into the Hull County Jail without bond. She is facing a charge of felony concealing the death of another. The GBI is now investigating. Once we learn more details, we'll bring them to you. Your weather for today, according to Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz, partly to mostly cloudy and breezy. Afternoon highs around 57. Now to Buckhead. A man shoots and kills his own son in the parking lot of the Far Road apartment complex. This happened after police were called to the apartment complex by the girlfriend of the victim, who had also called the victim's father after a fight that the two had. When police went inside the apartment to talk to the woman, the father shot and killed his son, 54-year-old Durante Tolliver, now charged with murder. No further details have been released at this time. This is new this morning. Federal safety investigators are looking at more than 500,000 Honda vehicles over 2 different issues. Jeff Gilbert has more.
2023 and 24 model year Honda Pilots could have an issue with a warning light that could incorrectly alert drivers about the use of rear passenger seatbelts. It's a different issue for 2018 to 22 model year Odyssey minivans. There have been reports that some side airbags deployed when the vehicles hit a pothole.
And he says it's too early to tell right now if either investigation will lead to a recall. Hospitals and doctors are gearing up for a very active flu season. Jim Ryan says that a push is underway right now to get folks to roll up their sleeves and get vaccinated.
As many as 82 million people came down with the flu in this country last year. At least 27,000 died with influenza as at least a factor. Why?
Less than 50% of Americans who were eligible for the flu vaccine actually got the flu vaccine.
Dr. Lachey Ajayi is the incoming chair of the American Medical Association. She attributes vaccine hesitancy to a public perception that vaccines are dangerous.
What I can tell you is that the flu vaccine is extremely safe.
And she urges anyone over 6 months old to get the shot.
And the Senate confirmation hearing for Surgeon General nominee Dr. Casey Means, it's been postponed this morning. She went into labor. No word on when it'll be rescheduled. The Atlanta Dogwood Festival is back in 2026. Executive Director Brian Hill says despite some financial challenges, they've been able to find a way to move forward for the 90th annual event. There will now be a small entry fee.
We're talking $5 on the Friday and $10 on Saturday and $10 on Sunday, and we'll probably do a weekend pass available as well.
He says it will still be a financial challenge to pull off the event, so fundraising efforts will be continuing. Donors have contributed more than $71,000 already. About 200,000 people come to the Dogwood Festival every year. And 5 more suspects in the Louvre Museum heist were arrested last night in Paris. These arrests bring to 7 the number of suspects now in police custody. The first 2 suspects were arrested last weekend and have now been charged. Holly Williams is following the story from the Louvre.
This case has sparked outrage in France because of lax security at the Louvre, home to some of the world's most important art.
The French prosecutor said there is no evidence so far that this was an inside job with an accomplice working here at the Louvre.
Now, the stolen jewelry was once worn by French royalty, and it is valued at more than $100 million. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 236 at 47,868. So the Dow's up 0.5%. NASDAQ is down more than 0.5%, and the S&P is also in negative territory. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay joining us now with a look at your roads.
A little crowded through Clarkston, Sabrina, due to a crash that was in a left lane. Here unit got to it, but had to hold all lanes to move it to the right shoulder, and that's where it is now with police. On 285 southbound, the inner loop at East Ponce de Leon exit 40. Slow leaving Lawrenceville Highway. We'll see improvement there. Won't get improvement until crews finish their work on the Stone Mountain Freeway. Right lane lost. 78 westbound past Brockett Road. And we're scanning the jam cam in Norcross, looking for trouble 85 southbound at Pleasantdale Road, exit 96. Delays begin just before Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Partly to mostly cloudy, breezy, staying cool in the 50s today, falling back through the 40s this evening and overnight. Down to 42 Friday morning, mostly sunny, and 62 in the afternoon. Will be clear and in the 50s for trick-or-treating Friday evening. And then for Saturday, so frost in the suburbs, mid to upper 30s, 40 in town, mostly sunny, and 65 in the afternoon.
It is 50 degrees right now in College Park. Jefferson has 51, and it is 50 degrees in Smyrna. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
If you have the WSB radio app.
If you have the WSB
all
app.
the notifications you need.
If you have the WSB app.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
Breaking news in Cobb County.
All in one place.
We'll send out an alert on the WSB app.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it from your app store today.
Large amounts, tremendous amounts of the soybeans and other farm products.
Tremendous amounts of soybeans China will be purchasing from the U.S. More on the important Trump-Xi meeting. But coming up next, why is Jack Smith back in the news? We'll explain in 2 minutes on The Mark Arum Show.
I'm so excited to hear my son's band play tonight. They've been... sorry, be right back. They've been rehearsing... sorry, bathroom break. Overactive bladder can mean missing out on life's moments, navigating life around the nearest bathroom instead of the next experience. Medtronic therapies have treated nearly 500,000 people worldwide with bladder or bowel control problems. Let Medtronic show you what's possible. Visit medtronic.com/bladderhelp to learn how.
One day, that's all it takes. One quick, simple one-day treatment, and your own natural hair can start growing again. It's Mark Arum back for my pals at Advanced Hair. They are different, guys. They combine science and technology to give you back your own natural growing hair. Advanced Hair offers the proven guaranteed solution that regrows your hair where it's currently gone. Bald spot, receding a hairline, they've got you covered. And it's one-day treatment. That's it. One day and your real hair begins to regrow the very next day. And the best part, it's guaranteed to grow for life. If you want your hair back, now's the time. Advanced Hair is the place. Just takes one visit, but first you're going to need to sign up for a free consultation. Schedule now. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. And if you move forward, you'll get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Advancedhair.com.
Fall is a busy time, and selling your home can be overwhelming. Get a guaranteed cash offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. With Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer, you can receive the strongest cash offer in the industry and move when you're ready. Mark Spain Real Estate has more than 13,000 five-star reviews, so you can trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home quickly and for maximum profit. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
At Shane Company, we've been engagement ring experts for almost 100 years. We have the largest selection of diamonds and gemstones in stock. You don't have to wait to compare them side by side. Find the one that speaks to you at shaneco.com or in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm still my father's daughter.
And she is now 44 years old. Happy birthday to former White House advisor Ivanka Trump. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Did you ever see, Deborah? This is an amazing, and I think it's only available on YouTube now. There was speaking of heir and a spare, the heir to the Johnson & Johnson empire made a documentary 25 years ago. I can't find the name of it. I know someone will get it for me. So the heir of the Johnson & Johnson fortune did a documentary about what it was like being the ultra rich in society. And he just interviewed his friends. Because if you're that level of wealth, that's all you're hanging out with. You're going to the private schools, you're going to Aspen and all these places. So it was a really fascinating documentary. So, and one of his friends was Ivanka Trump. And I remember watching this documentary like 25 years ago. I fell in love with Ivanka Trump. Like, she seemed, compared to the other heirs and heiresses,
Seems the most level-headed, right?
so down to earth. And I was like, wow, like, I knew of Ivanka Trump 25 years ago, but I didn't know anything about her. He had one of his friends was a casino heir. One was a Vanderbilt or something heir. Try to find out the name of that if you can. Because I wanted to watch it like back in 2016 when President Trump was running for president. I was like, yeah, I'd love to watch that movie again.
It's called Born Rich, 2003.
2003, Born Rich. I enjoyed it the second time. It holds up. It's really like, and the best part about it was the guy who was making it, the Johnson & Johnson heir, his dad was not happy. Because when you have that level of wealth, you don't like talking about money. And the dad, who, again, just inherited all this Johnson & Johnson wealth, he was like 50 at the time. All he did was paint. That's what Prince Andrew should have done, and Prince Harry. Like, you're set for life. There's no need to make waves. There's no need to. It's like, what does your dad do? Oh, he just paints in the house all day. And the dad was not happy. He was making. All right, so what was I going to write it down, Deborah Green?
Born Rich.
Born Rich.
A life I will never know.
Yeah, highly recommend Born Rich, the Longoria story.
Yeah, we'll never be in that movie.
But I think it's maybe it's available on streaming now. But back in 2016, it was just available on YouTube.
It says it's on Tubi or YouTube.
Okay,
yeah.
Excellent. Anyway, I highly recommend it. Born Rich, the Longoria story, available on YouTube. All right. Hey, Stephen Portnoy. Sorry to keep you waiting. Good morning, Stephen. Stephen, I did not expect to be discussing Jack Smith and January 6th on today's show. Why are we talking about them?
Republicans in Congress are really upset about the way that Jack Smith conducted the January 6th investigation. And yesterday, up on Capitol Hill, a group of Republican senators held a press conference led by the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Chuck Grassley, to talk about some of their recent findings about the January 6th investigation. Remember, Jack Smith brought charges against then former President Trump, alleging that he was part of a conspiracy to essentially overturn the results of the 2020 election, taking steps that culminated in the riot at the Capitol on January 6th. Now, that case ultimately ended because President Trump was reelected, and, before that case could be heard by a jury. Now, what we learned yesterday, as the result of whistleblower disclosure and some digging by the new leadership of the FBI, Republican senators say that Jack Smith and his team issued nearly 200 subpoenas targeting Republican-leaning organizations, donors, individuals, and among those who were targeted were GOP members of Congress. The probe was called Arctic Frost by the FBI, and it involved the subpoenaing of phone records by members of Congress, and that touches on the separation of powers concerns and the immunity that members of Congress have from prosecution under the speech or debate clause. Now, yesterday, Texas Senator Ted Cruz said that this investigation amounts to Joe Biden's Watergate. He says his cell phone records were subpoenaed and that fact was kept from him by the order of a D.C. District Court judge named James Boasberg, who you may have heard about this year because he's been one of the judges who have stood up essentially to the executive branch in his rulings. And yesterday, Ted Cruz said that he wants the House of Representatives to pass articles of impeachment against Judge Boasberg. Overall, the picture is of an investigation led by Jack Smith that was seeking to dig into the contacts between Republican officials here in Washington and state leaders all across the country when it comes to how they were putting together what they're calling alternate slates of electors. what you've also heard of as fake electors. And the Republican leadership of the Congress says that if the shoe were on the other foot and it was Democrats who were targeted by subpoenas, well, you'd never hear the end of it from those Democrats. And so Republicans say that they're outraged over this. Where's it going to end? Well, Ted Cruz says, quote, mark my words, there will be accountability. Overall, the question becomes, well, how will that manifest? Members of the House and Senate on the Republican side want to see Jack Smith testify under oath about how he conducted that investigation. That's the subject of a delicate negotiation, not just between the committee leaders and Jack Smith and his attorneys, but also with the Department of Justice, because there is work product by investigators. It's in the hands of the Justice Department, and it touches on, frankly, Jack Smith's confidential report, Volume 2, which was never made public, and grand jury information, which, as you know, Mark, is meant to be secret for all time.
A lot to unpack there, Stephen. A couple of quick follow-ups. Jack Smith operating as the special counsel, does that not isolate the Biden administration from any culpability of what Jack Smith was doing as special counsel? And the other question I have is, wouldn't Jack Smith welcome being subpoenaed and talking to congressional leaders?
I'll take your second question first. Look, Jack Smith's attorneys put forward a letter to House leadership earlier this month that said that he welcomes the opportunity to clear up what he has described as mischaracterizations of how he conducted his investigation. And he says he wants to do so publicly. But before he can, he says he needs to be able to access some material that is being held by the Justice Department. And that's why there's this delicate negotiation of whether he can have that access and whether it can be made public. It's not an easy thing to grapple with. Now, when it comes to the idea of a special counsel being independent from the Justice Department, that's not something I think Republican leaders would agree with, because Merrick Garland, who was Attorney General, who appointed Jack Smith, authorized the investigation and had oversight of it.
Gotcha. All right. Very interesting. We'll continue to monitor that up on Capitol Hill. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Stephen, as always, appreciate your time.
You bet.
I would imagine that despite whatever they're paid, whatever prestige, whatever stroke of the ego you might have if you're selected for this gig, no person in their right mind would ever want to be a special counsel from now on, right? Jack Smith was like, yeah, I'm going to do my patriotic duty. I'll be the special counsel. The Mueller before him, Ken Starr before him. You never come out unscathed, no matter how noble your intentions are, if you're selected special counsel. Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah, no. I'm honored. That's what I'm honored you would think even think of me for special counsel. That's amazing. What an honor. But yeah, hard pass. George Santos would take that gig. That's how far, after all of the angst that special counsels have been dealing with. Robert Mueller, Jack Smith. That title's not what it used to be. Hard pass. I mean, I'm washing my hair. What excuses did you give, Deborah, when dudes would ask you out? And what was your go-to? Like, because, in the 70s, it was, I got to wash my hair. I don't know if that's still a thing.
Well, usually it was I have to work because I always had weird hours at the radio station. I'm like, I'm on the air. I got to do a show. I got to get up early because I had to. I mean, most of it the time it was true. Otherwise, it'd be like, I'm going to a show and it's only, it's VIP only, and I don't have a +1, stuff like that.
Yeah. We could spin tail into the story you sent yesterday about the pickup lines are now dying off. Like there's no such thing as pickup lines anymore. The worst rejection I got. I was probably a sophomore in high school. Had never asked a girl out before on a date. Never had the cojones. It was always, prior to that, it was like you pass them a note in the hall, like, hey, do you want to hang out Saturday? And you'd always get the note back, no. But the first verbal, and I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to embarrass her. Hey, do you want to go to the movies this Saturday? Oh, I'd love to, but I have a crush on your best friend, Mark.
Oh, that's harsh.
Yes. Kicker to the story, the best friend is now married to a dude. So that relationship never came to fruition. 10:47 on the Mark Air Show. When we come back, We got some GM layoffs, and Mercedes-Benz is announcing a profit loss. We'll update the automotive industry. Right now, checking the automobiles on the roads. Here's Smiler Mark McKay.
All collected together on the west side perimeter. Traffic pacing as construction begins on that west side on 285 south leaving Cobb County. You're hitting the brakes below the Chattahoochee River, approaching Hollowell Parkway exit 12. We had a crash. DOT says no lanes are blocked now. That means it's on the shoulder, I-20 eastbound at Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Slow into downtown, connector north, leaving 166, actually up to University Avenue. That's where the delays begin. Take them up to John Lewis Freedom Parkway. 85 southbound, still a bit slow through Norcross. Crash should be on the shoulder now on 85 south at Pleasantdale Road, exit 96. This report is sponsored by True Natural Gas. True Natural Gas offers low rates, excellent service, and a loyalty program called True Rewards. See it for yourself at TrueNaturalGas.com, where they appreciate their customers. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. Friday at 5 on Atlanta's Morning News. Everything to get you set for trick-or-treat, including the forecast for Halloween night. Coach Smart in-depth previewing the Florida game and how to cope with the time change this weekend. All on WSB.
Attention Georgia homeowners, what if I told you these will be the last replacement windows you ever put in your home? And if not, we'll replace them for free forever. Hey, it's Ray, owner of Window Comfort. This isn't hype. This is our commitment and what we stand behind here at Window Comfort. Our windows are factory direct, custom built for Georgia, installed by our in-house team in just one day, and backed by our double lifetime warranty. If they fog, draft, or fail, even 20 years from now, we're going to replace them, no questions asked. And right now, you can buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free, and we're going to throw in free installation if you schedule this month. This isn't a sale. This is a no-brainer. You have nothing to lose and everything to save. Schedule your no-pressure estimate now at windowcomfort.com.
Terms and conditions apply. See windowcomfort.com.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
The holidays are approaching, so let my friends at Publix help you save money by shopping on the buy one, get one deals each week. Hey, it's Mark Aram. Yeah, there are BOGOs galore at your neighborhood Publix supermarkets. I love going in there and just following the yellow brick road of BOGOs. Save when you shop with the latest buy one, get one free items, deals on your favorites, and make sure you check out the BOGO deals before you shop. You can find the weekly ad online at Publix.com or in the Publix app. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
I'm so excited to hear my son's band play tonight. They've been... sorry, be right back. They've been rehearsing... sorry, bathroom break. Overactive bladder can mean missing out on life's moments, navigating life around the nearest bathroom instead of the next experience. Medtronic therapies have treated nearly 500,000 people worldwide with bladder or bowel control problems. Let Medtronic show you what's possible. Visit medtronic.com/bladderhelp to learn how.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you've been in a wreck, trust the strong arm, John Foy & Associates. Hey, it's Smiler Mark McKay. I personally recommend John Foy since I've had the pleasure of personally getting to know him. We've been to a Braves game together, had lunch, and what I've taken away from each of our visits is respect. Respect for how much he cares and wants to help people. John Foy's compassion is what I appreciate. Trust isn't a given, it's earned, and John Foy has earned my trust. I recommend John Foy & Associates at johnfoy.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Okay, some good news during a challenging time for everybody, and this could really help. You may know hundreds of thousands of people have already made the switch to Medi-Share, which is the affordable alternative to health insurance. And with so many people looking at how they're paying for healthcare right now, seeing premiums going up and the cost of healthcare, Medi-Share has a special offer, and a lot of people are taking advantage of it. Just apply by October 31st, and they'll waive your new member fee. You're saving $100 right off the bat. That's just the start. Obviously, the typical family saves up to $500 a month after making the switch. And Medi-Share is a Christian community that's shared more than $9 billion in medical bills over the years. It's worked beautifully for decades. I'll give you the number here in a second. If you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings too. Here it is. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Everything on white, everything's gray. Now you're here, now you're away.
Throwback Thursday to Deborah's prom. Dancing to Glycerine. That's about the right time, right?
About the right time, yeah.
Happy 60th birthday to Gavin Rossdale.
Yeah, Gavin Rossdale. Could have been my boyfriend if it wasn't for Gwen Stefani.
One of my best friend's sisters hooked up with him after a concert in L.A.
I've met Gavin Rossdale.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's 60. Wow. All right. Happy 60th birthday, Gavin Rossdale. Hopefully, Gavin does not work for General Motors, because we have a word. Yesterday, we told you about GM closing a office here in Metro Atlanta. Now they're announcing more layoffs. I'm assuming tariff economy related?
Kind of. So GM going to lay off about 1,700 workers, and this is mostly in Michigan and Ohio. And they're basically saying this is because the demand for EV has slowed a lot more than they were anticipating. Like, the idea of EVs were great. You got these tax benefits, and if you can get one, it's fine, but they're not everybody is gung-ho about them. You have an older generation who still likes their combustible engines and then can't really recharge them as quickly as you can put gas in. So the demand has slowed. So they're saying that they're just going to back off on some of making some EVs.
I think that the historians of the automotive industry are going to look back at this time period and say they were ahead of the curve. They jumped in, EV manufacturers I'm talking about now. We're too early to market. The consumer wasn't as ready as they thought, even with the tax benefits, even with the freaking number of Teslas around town. It's great. You can't drive 3 yards without seeing a Tesla. But I think outside of the Tesla market, the EV, they were a little too early to market. And that goes for Ford as well as General Motors and all those other companies. Rivian, we'll see how they fit in. Rivian, by the way, is not going to dip into that $6 billion loan that the government is going to float to them just yet, maybe 2018. One more automotive story. Mercedes-Benz says their profits are going to be down this year.
Yeah, Mercedes revealed about a 70% profit loss for their third quarter. Now, they're kind of pointing things at tariffs and then slowing down in the Chinese market as well. They are moving to more EVs, and they're going to look at making semi-autonomous vehicles. So not necessarily the Waymo, but more assisted driving. Like you have the hands-free driving, but you still need a driver there. They're going to kind of shift into doing that. And then they plan to come out with 40 new vehicles, and that's going to be everything from hybrids to EVs to your traditional V8
engines. 40,
40, yeah.
Interesting. But just for clarification, It's a profit loss of 70%,
Yes, profit loss of 70%.
which means they're still making a profit.
They are, yeah.
Okay.
It's just a lot less than they were hoping.
But that's better than not making a profit.
Of course.
Yeah. Interesting that the Chinese market impacted slow sales of Mercedes in the Chinese market. I did see there were very few foreign cars that I saw in Japan, but one of them was Mercedes-Benz. There was actually a Mercedes-Benz dealership in Takamatsu that we drove by. All right, automotive news. Our new automotive correspondent, Deborah Green there. Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic in 2 when we come back. Day 30 of the government shutdown. And what's the deal with these rare earth minerals? We'll explain next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Well, Chris, as you know, time just keeps on ticking. We're putting another year under our belt, so it seems like a really good time to take stock of our financial lives and put together that plan that's built to last.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Our top story: after a deadly shooting at a Buckhead apartment complex, a man is now charged with killing his son.
Police were called to a dispute between a man and his girlfriend at the 55 apartment complex on Farr Road. The man's father also came to the scene. While officers were interviewing the woman inside the apartment, Lieutenant Christopher Butler says the father and son went outside.
Officers heard gunshots. They responded outside and located a 32-year-old male suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, deceased outside.
And now 54-year-old Durante Tolliver is charged with murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A little better weather-wise today. Partly to mostly cloudy, breezy, highs around 57. We will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes with Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz. Careful who you find on social media to do some work around your house. The Cobb County Sheriff's Office saying a man offering handyman services on Nextdoor and Facebook, well, he would take deposits from homeowners through Zelle, but then disappear. Jeffrey Jones is facing multiple charges now, including theft by taking, theft by conversion, and theft by deception. So far, they say as many as 4 victims have been identified, but police say there may be more. President Trump says he's ordered the Pentagon to immediately start testing nuclear weapons in response to tests being conducted by other nations. We get more now from Ed O'Keefe at the White House this morning.
The president said in a social media post that he wants to resume those tests on a, quote, equal basis with Russia and China. It would be a major shift since the U.S. hasn't carried out such tests since the early 1990s. The president offered no details about the timing of the specific tests by other countries he was referring to.
Now, the U.S. voluntarily halted those testings in 1992. Fewer Americans now say that crime is a very serious problem here in the U.S.
For the second year in a row, there's been a drop in the percentage of Americans who consider crime to be an extremely or very serious problem. 49% say it is a top concern. The same percentage in the Gallup survey says crime is actually getting worse. Both numbers are the lowest they've been since 2018.
And Rory O'Neill reports that more than 30% of the people they surveyed said that they are afraid to walk alone at night in a neighborhood nearby. That is actually down from 40% in 2023. All right, here's another reason you may want to make sure that you get your vaccinations, flu and COVID. The risk of heart attacks and stroke, well, it rises significantly in the weeks after catching the flu or COVID. A UCLA study finds that both the flu and COVID, as well as chronic infections like HIV, raise the risk for serious cardiovascular events. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 236 at 47,868. So the Dow's up 0.5%. NASDAQ is down more than 0.5%. And the S&P's also in the red right now. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We say good morning to Alex Williams. He's in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. The rain has stopped, so the road work is back out there, and we have it on the Stone Mountain Freeway, Highway 78 westbound, approaching I-285, right lane block there, bunching up the ride as you leave Brockett Road. 85 southbound. Still going to see what's jamming up that ride approaching Pleasantdale Road, exit 96, keeping you on the brakes back up toward Duluth. And downtown, 75-85 northbound, that's recovering from University Avenue up toward Freedom Parkway and Peachtree Pine Street, where an earlier stall, they blocked all lanes and got that off to the shoulder, so everything back open there. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Partly to mostly cloudy, breezy, staying cool in the 50s today, falling back through the 40s this evening and overnight. Down to 42 Friday morning, mostly sunny, and 62 in the afternoon. Will be clear and in the 50s for trick-or-treating Friday evening. And then for Saturday, so frost in the suburbs, mid to upper 30s, 40 in town, mostly sunny, and 65 in the afternoon.
51 degrees right now in Chamblee. Fairburn has 52, and Tucker, you have 51 degrees. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I want this town to be near you.
11:04 on, yeah, you guessed it, an extremely busy news day Thursday. This is not a recording. Welcome back to the live edition of the Mark Arum Show with you till noon. Coming up in 30 minutes, Deborah's got tickets to give away, and our buddy Justin Gray is going to join us live in studio. And then Eric, I don't know if you were aware of this, Deborah, if you saw on social media, Longoria, Eric Erickson in studio today for his show, noon to 3. And apparently he got sick of me bugging him to bring in food. Because, you know, Eric is a
Is
great...
he bringing in the cinnamon rolls?
He's bringing in sweet treats. I'll just
Apple
say
tartlets?
that. No, homemade sweet treats, which I am not looking a gift horse in the mouse. I'm looking forward to Erickson's amazing baked goods. But I was kind of hoping, you know, it would be a savory. It's lunchtime. But I'm not, listen, very excited that Eric is going to bring us in some food. Make sure you listen to him, noon to 3 here on WSB. All right, day 30 of the government shutdown. We talked to Ed O'Keefe earlier from CBS on Capitol Hill with the latest. We have heard now in the last hour or so, Deborah, from House Speaker Mike Johnson.
It means that tens of millions of American families will struggle to keep food on the table because the SNAP program benefits will run dry. It means that WIC assistance, that's women, infants, and children, the nutrition programs, will be at risk of running dry. It means that Head Start centers, which serve 60,000 children nationwide, will be at risk of closure.
Johnson said at the news conference this morning that serious consequences will begin Saturday, November 1st. Mark Arum said 30 days ago that serious consequences would begin Saturday, November 1st. I had every inclination that this government shutdown was going to last till November 1st for a lot of reasons. But one simple reason was, right, the Democrats are shutting down the government. There's no question about it. This is a Democratic shutdown. Do they have legitimate cause for the shutdown? That is for debate. But the Democrats are stalling the budget, the continuing resolution in the Senate. There's no denying that, right? That's what's holding this up. They are holding it up because they want the Medicaid exemptions, the Obamacare exemptions. They don't want our health insurance costs to skyrocket. That's where they're planting their flag. That's where they're standing. Agree or disagree, that's just the facts of the case. The Democrats are shutting down the government because they want these, whatever the term is, Obamacare subsidies. That's the first. And I said a month ago, they're not going to budge till November 1st. Why November 1st? The day after Halloween? Because that's when open enrollment begins. And that's when folks that start open enrollment for ACA, Obamacare, or regular health, that's where we're going to see, oh, wow, I have to pay 60% more for my health insurance next year. That has been the line in the sand for November 1st. I knew this government shutdown was going to last till at least November 1st. It's a game of chicken before then, and it's going to be a real game of chicken after. Will Americans be like, whoa, 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 pump the brakes. Why am I paying $7,500 or more for my health insurance? And contact their representative. So no shock to me. I'm sure it wasn't a shock to Speaker Mike Johnson, but it was nice to hear him say that today.
The labor unions, working class Americans, independents are fleeing his party, and they are coming to the party of common sense because they see us here trying to solve these problems. They see us here voting over and over and over to fund the government and give them their paychecks, and they see the Democrats dug in against it.
That might be the case on October 30th. What will the situation be on November 3rd? When those same folks fleeing are going, why am I paying $12,000 more for health insurance? Or what am I going to do now because I can no longer afford health insurance? So that was Speaker Mike Johnson. Obviously, I will give Longoria a piggyback ride through the courtyard if the government shutdown ends before November 1st. That's how confident I am. How many yards? How many guineas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a term of measure. How long could I give you a piggyback ride?
Not long at all.
Could I make it 30 yards?
I doubt it.
Across the courtyard?
Yeah, I doubt it.
No?
Like, I'm heavy.
I'm strong, Longoria.
Yeah, but you're not Division I anymore.
How long could I give Vinny
5.
a piggyback ride?
Oh, Vinny's light. He's like a feather. Yeah, he could probably do the whole courtyard.
Is he a cruiserweight? What would Vinny be? A lightweight or a cruiserweight?
Lightweight.
Yeah.
He's pretty light.
That's how confident. I'll put Vinny on my shoulders and Longoria on my back, like a piggyback.
Yeah.
And I will go around the courtyard if this government shutdown ends before November 1st. I'm that confident. All right, President Trump met with the Chinese president yesterday. We didn't hear officially from either nation after, but we did hear from President Trump on Air Force One talking to reporters about how it went down.
That whole situation, that roadblock is gone now. There's no roadblock at all on rare earth. That will hopefully disappear from our vocabulary for a little while.
All right, so rare earth minerals. This was not in the vernacular 10 years ago, right? Who even thought of or heard of rare earth minerals? It's a very important issue, and I don't think it gets enough attention. And I think a lot of people might be like, why is rare earth minerals so important? Joe Doe, that's his name, DEAU. Joe Doe from DEAUX, from Bloomberg News. I've been sitting on this interview for a while, Deborah, for the perfect time to do it. Now that President Trump says they're making progress with China on rare earth minerals, let's go in depth on rare earth minerals. Joe Doe, is China's large rare earth mineral supply the most important geopolitical issue that so few people know about?
Yeah, I think what's key for a regular person to understand is that these rare earth minerals and the U.S. chips are the leverage in the China-U.S. trade war right now. And with the U.S. president potentially going over to APEC and to Asia to potentially have this conversation with Xi Jinping, this is probably the most important conversation on the table.
All right, so obviously that interview was recorded before but that's Joe called it. That's the most important issue between the United States and China is the rare earth minerals. Joe Doe from Bloomberg News, how much is China dominating?
They're the ball game, right? Like we had this news out this week that you already mentioned that the U.S. and Australia are looking for cooperation, partnership to invest in this space, $8.5 billion. The point is right now, if you are a company that needs rare earth minerals, you're probably getting them from China. Sure, Lynas in Australia is the big producer. of heavies outside of China, and the U.S. has MP Materials, which some of your viewers might remember is the company that got a $400 million investment from the DOW, the DOD, whatever you call it these days. But China dominates. The reason this money is coming into this space from the United States government, from the EU, from Australia, is because they realize at its core, there is a serious national security problem. There is a shortage of the material the West has.
And because those materials are the key to everything in our future, chips and AI, et cetera, everything that's booming the markets to record highs, all falls back on the shoulders of rare earth minerals. Joe Doe, what leverage does President Trump have in trade talks?
I mean, this is really the big discussion, right? Has the president overplayed his hand? And this is the conversation happening in rare earths circles. This is the conversation happening in China watcher circles, right? Which is like, are they in a bad position here? We will see. I mean, a part of this, right? Like 3 weeks ago, we had China ratchet up more export controls of these rare earths coming out of China, specifically over machinery used to make permanent magnets and other machinery. This was one of those things that, depending on who you talk to, it was either just how serious this has gotten or kind of the leverage that they're using going into the talk.
Final question to Bloomberg's Joe Doe on rare earth minerals. How urgent is it for the U.S. to make deals, and is time of the essence?
We had a report back out in July that a number of rare earth recycling companies, which aren't really producing anything, met with a group of technology companies that may have included Apple and Microsoft, with Peter Navarro and others inside the White House. And the conversation was, how can we get rare earth production for permanent magnet making, which is what rare earths are really used for, as soon as possible? That conversation, in my understanding, talking with people, was the recognition that going and opening mines, right, like, oh, we're going to open these mines and these processing facilities, it's 15 years, 20 years to get a mine from beginning to end. The idea is we got to do this now. We got to do this in 2 years, or we got to do this before Donald Trump's current term is over. And that's the conversation happening right now.
In depth on rare earth minerals with Bloomberg's Joe Doe. I've been sitting on that interview for like 10 days. Vinny pulled the audio. He was like, are you ever going to play that audio? There you go, Vin. Now, to be fair, I wish I had the exact show that I was made familiar about rare earth minerals. I'm pretty sure it was 60 Minutes, probably more than 10 years ago. They did a story about Chinese companies in the government-funded companies in Africa, making all of these deals with these nations for their rare earth minerals. Like they'd go to, what's the fictional African nation in Coming to America? Zamunda. So I'm going to use fictional Zamunda so I don't offend anyone. China would go to Zamunda and say, hey, listen, you need money for water filtration, you need money for irrigation, you need money for roads. We're going to take care of all that. This is 10, 15 years ago, China did this. They went into Zamunda, said, we will take care of all of your infrastructure problems, your water problem, whatever you deal with, in exchange for mining rights. And these African nations were like, all right, we're not mining for this stuff. China knew so long ago, and you got to tip your hat to them. They knew that this was the future. Rare earth minerals was the future. So they had a 15-plus year head start on the rest of the world securing these rare earth minerals. And I remember, not 100%, pretty sure it was a CBS story like 10 or 15 years ago about China's investment in Africa in exchange for the rare earth mineral rights. Now, prior to that, and prior to this news cycle, if someone asked, hey, what's a rare earth mineral? You'd be like, oh, a diamond or an emerald. Both of those were stolen from the Louvre. We have an update on the Louvre story.
Bonsoir, merci. At a press conference, the French prosecutor said the two suspects who've been charged were identified through their DNA and have now partially admitted their involvement in the brazen daylight robbery. A team of perpetrators used a basket lift to scale the facade of the Louvre Museum, broke in through a window and made off with jewellery once worn by French royalty, valued at over $100 million.
So 7 suspects now in custody. 0 jewels have been recovered. Are they gone, Deborah? They have to be, right? They're like Kaiser Sose in the wind. But But you got 7 people and 0 jewels.
I don't know where they are.
Yeah.
6, 7.
Yeah, talk to Frank. Frank, talk to 6, 7. Thank you, Deborah. Not only, all right, so we have a museum heist, the jewel heist there in Paris. This one went under the radar. This was a couple days ago in New York City. We had another jewel heist.
Yeah, it was a little smaller. That's probably why. But at least 3 men were disguised as like construction workers. You know, they put on the bright vests and everything, which you see everywhere in New York. That city's
Especially in Halloween. You're dressing up as the village people.
Sure, there you go, Vinny. Yeah, so they broke into a home in New York City and drove off with a safe that had more than $3 million of jewelry and other things inside it. Happened in the middle of the day because... Why are you questioning construction work? I mean, it's New York. They're everywhere. The city's always under construction. But they broke into a house, forcibly opened a door, found the safe. They must have known where and what they were looking for.
Inside job.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly. But they were able to remove the safe, a bunch of jewelry, and they're saying it's about $3.2 million were inside.
I wonder if the thieves got into character to play a New York City construction worker. Deborah, when I say New York City construction worker, you prejudge and say what? What's your first impression of that?
Catcalling?
Catcalling.
Yeah.
Like, did they practice their cat calls? They're thieves.
And they've got that thick Bronx accent.
Hey, yo, honey. Hey, what you shaking? That was a bad. I'm trying to do my dad as a
construction worker, cat caller.
Yeah. Hey, oh, hey, Toots. There you go, Toots. Toots, shake it over here. Like, were they, did they get into character to really sell the construction? Oh, and what do you know? A third heist. This one out a museum in Oakland, California.
The jewelry, Native American baskets, and ivory carvings were swiped from the Oakland Museum of California's warehouse. Museum director Lori Fogarty says the items are priceless in historical value, but not worth much on the black market.
I think it is very possible that the people who stole these items don't really know themselves what they have.
She's asking the public for help.
If people are at swap meets, or they're at auctions, or they're in a pawn shop or an antique store, and something looks like, please let us know.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Was there a video on YouTube that started training people on how to rob museums and stuff?
It's like episodes of a White Collar.
What's going on? Are they trying to get in before the fiscal year? Like, we haven't robbed enough jewels this year.
Maybe they think, look how easy it was at the Louvre.
Maybe.
This guy's house has got to be easier than that.
That's insane. All right, when we come back, talking about food insecurity, did you know there are actually cities where fast food is cheaper than cooking? Is Atlanta on that list? We'll tell you after we check traffic. Speaking of fast food, throwing down a breakfast on a bun from Whataburger. Here's Alex Williams.
Yeah, that's right, Mark, and we are watching trouble as we do it. Crash up in Duluth, 85 southbound, just past Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. Second left lane is blocked. You're slow as you leave Highway 316. Good news past that, though, once you get down to DeKalb County near I-285. Earlier stalled Big Rig, 85 southbound, and Pleasantdale Road was able to get up and moving, so everything back open there. And the right lane construction continues on the Stone Mountain Freeway, Highway 78 westbound between Brockett Road and I-285. Traffic brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Hey, Georgia, remember you can play Georgia Lottery games from almost anywhere on any device. Go to GALottery.com and click on DigiGames. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Do you have any idea how often I have used Omaha Steaks products on my front porch for my friends and family? You know, I have guys over on Sunday nights. We watch football, drink some bourbon, have cigars, and I cook. And very often it's a steak platter, and I get it from Omaha Steaks. I make some bread, usually focaccia, and then I'll get the New York strips from Omaha Steaks, maybe some sausages as well, and throw them on the grill and just mix it with the bread. And it's easy to do, and Omaha Steaks makes it so easy. And you can do it too. And right now, get $35 off at Omaha Steaks with promo code ERIC at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. You go to omahasteaks.com. You know, and they're the official sponsor of tailgating right now. It's the perfect time of year to watch football and grill out from Omaha Steaks. I do it. You can too. You go to omahasteaks.com right now. Get $35 off with promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the portfolio x-ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The portfolio x-ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the portfolio x-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the portfolio x-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
There's no need to be scared of stains in your carpet when you can call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. It's Patrick, owner of Zerorez. Zerorez cleans without the use of harsh soaps or spooky chemicals, leaving behind clean carpets safe for the entire family. For a limited time, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129 when you mention WSB. That's right, 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner at A1 Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service, and you'll be smiling today.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Ukraine came up very strongly. We talked about it for a long time, and we're both going to work together to see if we can get something done.
President Trump on Air Force One after his big meeting with Xi. We assume President Trump was feasting on fast food on Air Force One, as is his wont. I'm very jealous of his ability to get fast food. Fast food in the news, Deborah. This is shocking to me because you want to save money, don't stop eating out, stay at home and cook. There are actually some cities where it's cheaper to eat fast food than it is to cook at home. Is Atlanta on that list?
Atlanta is on the list. And I'm attributing it to you.
I'm Clark Smart.
Yes.
I am Clark Smart. I'm saving money by
all of your Uber Eats have probably moved Atlanta up on the list.
That's pretty shocking to me, though, because especially with the increase in prices at fast food restaurants.
But mostly because groceries have just been so expensive, and then the time to put them all together to save the groceries, how quickly they go. So sometimes it's just easier to pop through the drive-thru, and it's turning out to be a little bit cheaper in some
And I would
cities.
imagine burgers, too. So beef at an all-time high right now. I don't know if it's considered fast food or not, but you get that big hunkin' burger at Five Guys, you're probably saving money on beef because you get, you know what I'm saying? All right, so there are some cities, Atlanta included, where eating fast food is cheaper than cooking for yourself. I'm ahead of the curve on that one. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, Deborah's got tickets to give away, plus Justin Gray in studio. Crazy story. He's going to be presenting tonight on Channel 2 Action News at 5. It involves DUI arrests. I'll let him fill it in for you live next on The Mark Air Show.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's. But that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, if you're bringing some friends over to tailgate this fall or cook out or having the family for Thanksgiving later, do what I've just done and call Wise Guys Pro Wash. They've gotten my house and driveway, my patio spotless, even the wooden gates out back. They even cleaned the roof, and I didn't even have to be there. The crew used the top equipment in the industry in their soft wash and kept my home safe and damage-free. You call them. First-time customers mention my name, Chris Chandler, and book now to get $70 off your first wash at wiseguysprowash.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Main Street Auto. Let's go to Buckhead first, where a man has shot and killed his son in the parking lot of the Far Road apartment complex. It happened after police were called to that apartment complex by the girlfriend of the victim, who had also called the victim's father after a fight the two had. When police went inside the apartment to talk to the woman, the father shot and killed his son. 54-year-old Durante Tolliver, now charged with murder. No further details have been released. Check back for updates. All right, your weather for today, according to Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz, partly to mostly cloudy. It's going to be breezy. Afternoon highs around 57. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. Rescue and recovery efforts underway this morning on the island nation of Jamaica, where Jason Allen is reporting from the capital city of Kingston. He tells us about one woman and her appeal for help.
This morning, the people of Jamaica are picking up the pieces after Hurricane Melissa, as nearly 80% of the island nation still doesn't have power.
Roof has gone, clothes has wet up. I need some help. Please, I need some help.
Melissa pounding Jamaica with 185-mile-per-hour winds before moving on. The storm claiming at least 28 lives in the Caribbean, mostly in Haiti. The president ordering the Pentagon to restart nuclear weapons testing after a more than 3-decade pause. President Trump saying, quote, it's because other countries testing programs that he's instructing the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on equal basis, unquote. Some global car makers are planning to scale back production because of an export freeze on a Chinese company's chips. These chips are used to power things like windshield wipers and car windows.
Honda said it has cut or suspended some North American production. A lobby group for European car makers indicated a potential production halt within days. General Motors CEO Mary Ibarra said the issue has the potential to impact production. Ford CEO Jim Farley has said he raised the matter with government officials, and Stellantis said it's assessing the situation. Toyota said it sees a limited production effect so far, and Nissan said it has enough chips to last into the first week of November. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
Update on the government shutdown. The Senate voting for the 15th time today on a short-term spending plan that would end it. House Speaker Mike Johnson at a news conference earlier this morning blaming Senate Leader Chuck Schumer for stubbornly refusing to support the measure, a stance Johnson says hurting the Democrat Party.
The labor unions, working class Americans, independents are fleeing his party, and they are coming to the party of common sense because they see us here trying to solve these problems. They see us here voting over and over and over to fund the government and give them their paychecks, and they see the Democrats dug in against it.
Now, Democrats say that they will not vote for the short-term spending plan before an agreement is reached to preserve in future budgets health care benefits and services for tens of millions of Americans. The Atlanta Dogwood Festival's back in 2026. Executive Director Brian Hill saying despite some financial challenges, they were able to find a way to move forward for the 90th annual event. There will now be a small entry fee.
We're talking $5 on the Friday and $10 on Saturday and $10 on Sunday, and we'll probably do a weekend pass available as well.
He says it's going to be still a financial challenge to pull off the event, so fundraising efforts will continue. Donors have already contributed more than $71,000. About 200,000 people come to the Dogwood Festival every year. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow's in the green, up more than 0.5%. NASDAQ's down almost a full percent, and the S&P's also in negative territory. Let's get a check of your roads. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Still watching this crash up in the Duluth area. Hero police on scene. They're holding 2 left lanes to get the cars to the left shoulder, I-85 southbound below Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. That's why you're jammed up leaving Highway 316. I see the Hero dragging that car right now, so hopefully we can get some lanes open there. Slow as well on Sugarloaf Parkway in both directions through the intersection of Lawrenceville Highway, Highway 29. Left lanes blocked both ways on Sugarloaf Parkway for some paving operations there. And over on the West Freeway, right lanes are jammed up. I-20 eastbound from Fulton Industrial Boulevard trying to ramp onto those hairpin ramps right there at I-285, exit 51. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Breezy, cool, partly to mostly cloudy through the day, high around 57. Tonight into tomorrow morning down to 42. Mostly sunny and 62 Friday. Saturday mostly sunny, low 40, high 65.
It is 51 degrees right now in Dallas and Marietta. Lovejoy has 52 degrees. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The latest incident comes when a SWAT team is called after a suspect.
Your 24/7 news
They
source.
had no ties to a gang.
When you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
President Trump, it is a great pleasure for me as well to meet you.
That's not President Xi, but that's his translator. Still to come, the big headlines out of that bilateral meeting. Deborah's got tickets to give away, and Justin Gray from Channel 2 live in studio. All next on The Mark Arum Show.
John, my guy, look who it is. Been too long.
Hey, Taylor. Yeah, just trying to keep my head above water.
What's going on?
Well, the restaurant's bleeding. Back taxes are crushing me. IRS letters coming faster than drink orders.
Been there. I couldn't sleep for weeks. Then I called 5-Star Tax Help. Total game changer.
5-Star?
Yeah, they handled everything. Back taxes, penalties, payment plan. They've got seasoned tax attorneys who know exactly how to deal with the IRS. After 17 years, they're ranked #1 with Forbes and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Seriously? All right, I'm calling them now.
800-516-8408 or 5startaxhelp.com. The IRS doesn't wait.
Hi, this is Victor Latham, lead tax attorney at 5-Star Tax Help. If you're behind on taxes, don't wait. We've been solving tax problems for over 17 years. We're ranked #1 by Forbes, and we hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call us today at 800-516-8408 or visit 5startaxhelp.com. Let's get your peace of mind back before the IRS makes the next move.
Cheers, man. Next round's on me.
That is, if the IRS doesn't swipe it first.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate, right here on 95.5 WSB. Each Saturday, my show covers Atlanta's housing market and all things real estate. Reach out to me for trustworthy residential real estate advice. My team and I at The Agency Atlanta have something amazing for you. The Agency Atlanta's Home Report Card, a free, customized analysis on your home, a secret weapon to get more when the time comes to sell. Know your home's strengths and weaknesses, how your home stacks up against your competition, and when you are most likely to get top dollar. You'll know how to bring your grade up to an A+ and net more money when it's time to move. So if selling your home has even crossed your mind, let me send you the Agency Atlanta's free home report card. This is invaluable information and it's free. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com today to connect with us at the Agency Atlanta. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, a camel, and a kangaroo.
11:38 on the Mark Arum Show. I just saw Eric Erickson walking by holding sweet treats for the gang. Very excited about that. Eric, of course, comes up after the new news here on the Nifty 750. Before we get to Justin Gray live in studio, Deborah, we have some tickets to give away, my friend.
We do have tickets. How about tickets to go see Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin evening at the Coca-Cola Roxy coming up November 22nd.
Day 30 of the government shutdown. So sorry, Vinny. The 30th caller to 404-872-0750. 30th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Jason Bonham, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and 95.5 WSB. If you do win those tickets, do not drink and drive to the concert. Take an Uber or have a designated driver. Join us in studio to talk about DUIs, our buddy, investigative reporter for Channel 2 Action News, Justin Gray. Justin, your story tonight at 5 p.m. You can be stone cold sober, but still arrested for DUI. What?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? But blow a 0.0, they put the cuffs on you. And it's because they're looking not just for people with alcohol, but, you know, the different ways so many people are using marijuana now. They're worried about that as well. I brought a visual thing to a audio medium here.
It's good. We have the live stream.
I brought a quarter into the studio because some of the studies, the most recent scientific study showed it is as likely you flip a coin 50-50. That's how accurate it says some of these roadside field sobriety tests are. That's really concerning, obviously, because just being arrested for a DUI obviously can ruin a life, whether you're convicted or not.
I have an extensive history of being stopped at DUI checkpoints. There was I think it was the summer of 2007. There was one set up on Peachtree Street in front of the station, and I'd be driving in every morning at 4 a.m., and the first 2 days, they gave me the sobriety test.
Yeah.
You know, I just woke up. I'm going to work. I'm doing traffic on Channel 2, and I had to do the field sobriety, and thankfully I passed. And it was like a whole month they were doing it. So by the third day, they recognized my car. They'd be like, all right, that's the traffic schmo. You can wave them on. But aside from that, I've never done one of those intense road sobriety checks. But the law enforcement officials have the capability to, even if you blow a 0.0, they could still arrest you thinking that you're under the influence of something else.
And that word think is important, right? That's what, when we talk about this in the story, you'll see that's what it comes down to. It's these officers' judgment, their opinion based on their training. And we're not saying any of these officers are doing anything inappropriate in their mind. They're doing their very best. They're following their training to get dangerous drivers off the road. That's obviously incredibly important. But the question is that training that they go through, does it work when it comes to drugs? It was designed for alcohol.
Yes.
Is it working when it comes to drugs? And that's the question we're looking at. And we're talking to some people and looking at some studies that have some real concerns about that. How scary, right? 0.0, the cuffs on, you spend a night in jail, you wait 6 months or something for the blood test to prove what you said all along was true.
So eventually, if this you do get a blood test back at the station, but it could take 6 months to prove that.
you might not have a car. You might not be able to do your job.
Yeah.
You might lose your job.
That's scary.
That's scary.
0.0, and you're still taken to custody. I don't want to give away too much of your story, which is tonight on Channel 2 Action News at 5 p.m. But the standard tests that folks have to go through, sobriety tests, I'm assuming these were tests that were developed in like the 60s.
Right. And again, developed to find drunk drivers.
Yeah.
And they work, as far as the evidence shows, very well for drunk drivers. The question is, do they work as well for other sorts of impaired drivers? And there's some concerns that they do not. I've also, when I worked late at night in the news, been pulled over for these. Us news guys, they keep lumping us in with the impaired drivers. Yeah. And I thought it was really tough. I was terrified. And I knew I'd not had a drink of alcohol. So you can imagine you're sitting there on the side of the road going through this. There's a lot of other factors besides just whether you've had any drugs or alcohol.
I don't know if it's too late to put in your story. It's probably finished. But in the early 90s, the go-to sobriety check in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, was say the alphabet backwards. So to this day, I could probably ZYXVWUTSR. You know, that was the. Is it too late to throw that in?
We can try. I get a one-on-one interview with Mark Arum about this.
Yeah, I could do that easier than walking a straight line sober. All right, I'm excited. Channel 2 Action News at 5. Justin Gray. Justin, always good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. 5 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, excellent. Set your DVRs, by the way. If you're not, you could do that remotely via Xfinity. I don't know if you knew that, Longoria. But I always record the newscast on DVR, and then when I get home, sometimes my nap goes longer than 5. But you're always watching. Yeah, I'm always be watching. There you go. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate it, my friend. Did Vinny screen the callers yet? It's taking an abnormally long time to find a winner. We will get a winner on the Jason Bonham tickets before too long. Oh, Mike from Houston. I'm going to give Vinny a field sobriety text on the way he spelled Houston there.
I want to see that.
I'll screenshot it for you. Congrats to Mike in Houston, though. He won a pair of tickets to see Jason. What's the full title of
Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening.
The Led Zeppelin Evening, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. All right. This is funny because I'm so excited to eat Erickson's Sweet Treats. I had the breakfast on a bun from Longoria. And we know the issues. I don't have to bring them up again, what my tummy is like on a day-to-day basis. Apparently, Deborah, I should be eating a Mediterranean diet instead of the diet I currently have. Correspondent Michael George reports on the health benefits of the Mediterranean diet.
Trying a Mediterranean diet could help people with irritable bowel syndrome. A University of Sheffield study found the diet, which emphasizes plant-based foods and lean proteins while avoiding red meat, performed better than a traditional diet at relieving the symptoms of IBS. Patients also reported less abdominal pain. The study suggests a Mediterranean diet could be used as a treatment for IBS.
Well, there you go. I like that. I like Mediterranean food. The first time I ever heard about the Mediterranean diet, Monica Kaufman-Pearson. She came on the show, and I was like, you look great. She's like, this was years ago. She said, I'm on the Mediterranean diet. I was like, what's the Mediterranean diet?
My doctor's been telling me to do that all along.
You want to do it together?
Sure.
All right. My IBS and whatever health concerns
cholesterol,
that you
whatever,
might have.
blood pressure.
All I remember from Monica telling me this years ago was like no butter, but oils and like nuts, legumes, and lean protein.
No red meat. Yeah.
So we can't go to Outback Steakhouse.
Well, you can if you get a lean chicken.
Yeah. There you go. Outback Steakhouse in the news. Not good news for our friends down under, Deborah.
More Outback Steakhouse locations are going to be closing around the country. Now, the owner is called Bloomin' Brands, and they say it's part of their turnaround plan. Talking about like just lower sales, less traffic in areas. It does not point to tariffs or food or anything like that, just traffic.
Well, the beef
in general.
cost, I'm sure, too.
It doesn't say that, though. But yeah, so they're hoping that by closing these locations, it'll help improve performance. Luckily, none in Georgia will be closing, so you guys are fine.
Yeah, I go to one quite often over off of North Druid Hills. Is that considered fast casual? Or is that too fancy for fast casual?
Oh.
Because I think, and again, I'm not judging. I love all of these restaurants I'm about to say, but TGI Fridays, Chili's, Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah, I think it's in the same.
It's not like in my mind, like Outback and Longhorn and Red Lobster are elevated above Chili's.
Can see that.
But I don't know if that's. But that whole fast casual industry has been struggling.
To me, they're kind of all the same. Yeah.
All right. Flo's Filet, side salad with Thousand Island, no onions. Baked potato with butter and sour cream. And if Maya's with me, steamed broccoli.
Not a Mediterranean diet.
Not a Mediterranean. I can just swap out the chicken, 86 the butter and the sour cream, and that'll be the Mediterranean diet. All right, back to the 24-hour traffic center. Where's the hot spot now, Alex Williams?
I got some better news for those traveling 85 south in Duluth. Mark, that crash just below Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104, now sits on the left shoulder. All lanes are back open, so those delays leaving Highway 316 will improve. Still jammed up Sugarloaf Parkway, both east and westbound, trying to get through the intersection with Highway 29, Lawrenceville Highway, due to paving operations, blocking the left lanes in both directions there. And we're also seeing the right lane construction into Cobb County. Highway 78 westbound, the Stone Mountain Freeway between Brockett Road and 285. Traffic brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning reminds you there's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. King's Hawaiian Sliders make you a winner on game day. Pick them up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
This might help, young man. This might cure what ails you.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I run a stupid little radio show. I don't care. Have fun.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
Your friend, Eric Von Hessler, the Common Sense host.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
You've thought about assisted living for your parents, but maybe the right answer is renovating your home and having mom or dad move in. I'm Richard, Chief Architect at Sketch House, where we create custom architectural drawings for homeowners looking to remodel. Why get drawings first? You'll know what's possible. You'll be able to get pricing and compare builders apples to apples, and builders love drawings. You'll get bumped to the top of their list with drawings in hand. Let Sketch House help you make a decision about your aging parents at a fixed price. Visit sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, HAUS.com.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Channel 2 Action News this morning is the best place to be for breaking news.
So much is happening, and we're on it. Our reporters are the first to know in your community, bringing you fresh information, the best video.
We know you depend on us. It's why we're everywhere live to prepare you for the day ahead.
In the morning, see what's new.
Don't miss a day. Join us. Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
There's no need to be scared of stains in your carpet when you can call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. It's Patrick, owner of Zerorez. Zerorez cleans without the use of harsh soaps or spooky chemicals, leaving behind clean carpets safe for the entire family. For a limited time, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129 when you mention WSB. That's right, 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins, with every possession giving you a shot at real money. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more stats and unlock the upside every game brings. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. Pick 6 is available in your state. Plus, new DraftKings customers can get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball, cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code WSB955. That's code WSB955. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health, and I think it's real important to talk about what is most likely to kill you. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, and the older we get, the more prevalent it is. But you can reduce your risk. Eat right, don't smoke, exercise, and be informed about what's going on in your own body. Like lots of potentially serious health problems, if you catch heart disease early, you vastly increase your chances of living a longer life. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease. Other scans, including brain and full body, are available too. Virtual imaging is locally owned and operated in Atlanta for over 15 years, so they can make you this terrific offer. A complimentary heart scan for you and your spouse with a few minimum requirements. So don't put this off. I've done it. Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-7226. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Okay, some good news during a challenging time for everybody, and this could really help. You may know hundreds of thousands of people have already made the switch to Medi-Share, which is the affordable alternative to health insurance. And with so many people looking at how they're paying for healthcare right now, seeing premiums going up and the cost of healthcare, Medi-Share has a special offer, and a lot of people are taking advantage of it. Just apply by October 31st, and they'll waive your new member fee. You're saving $100 right off the bat. That's just the start. Obviously, the typical family saves up to $500 a month after making the switch. And Medi-Share is a Christian community that's shared more than $9 billion in medical bills over the years. It's worked beautifully for decades. I'll give you the number here in a second. If you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings too. Here it is. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday,
Happy 80th birthday to frequent Mark Arum Show guest, Henry Winkler, a.k.a. Arthur Fonzarelli. The Fonz turns 80 years old today. I had Deborah pulled one of our old interviews of the Fonz, but it was just too busy a news day. We didn't get to play it. But maybe you can hear it on an upcoming edition of the Best of the Mark Arum Show.
Yeah, you can also find it on Off Air with Arum.
Off Air with Arum on demand at WSBradio.com. All right, one thing I do not like are rodents, Deborah, and that's probably from my time in New York where you'd see rats the size of Alex Williams in the street. The rattiest cities in the United States. I'm assuming Atlanta's not even close to the top 5 because we have Breda Pest Management, which handles the rodent problems at the Mark Arum House. So top 5 rattiest cities in the United States.
Well, we're going to start in your home state of Connecticut at Hartford, number 5.
I was going to guess Bridgeport.
Oh, no. I don't know enough about Connecticut.
Hartford, 5th rattiest, and I believe still the insurance capital of the world is Hartford, Connecticut.
Number 4, I believe, is Longoria's favorite city, San Francisco. Remember when he brought Patient Zero back?
Yeah, you brought the COVID back from
It was
San
from the
Fran.
rats.
That was from the rats.
How can the rats? San Francisco's really hilly. Like, are those rats in really good shape
Aren't
for
they
going
underground and everything?
but going up the hills and down the hills?
They exercise a lot.
Like
they hit you right on the trolley?
I just remember Puck as the bicycle messenger fighting the hills
That's a different real
in
world.
San Francisco. All right, so 3rd rattiest city.
Third is New York. I think that's everyone always thinks New
Oh,
York,
my
and that's because
God.
of movies and everything.
There's a whole Instagram account dedicated to rats in New York City where they will just pick up the rats are so big and strong in New York City that if there's half a pizza on the ground, like half a full pizza, a rat could grab it with its mouth and then bring it back down into the half of a whole, not a slice, not a crust, half a pizza. I can't believe, I don't even know if I want to know the 2 rattier cities in New York City.
Number 2, Chicago. Remember the rat pothole? Haven't you seen that in the Twitter or anything? Well,
No.
number 2 is Chicago, and number 1, next biggest city in the country, L.A.
Really?
Yep.
Well, the rats go out there.
Exactly.
It's the weather.
Yes.
You know, little California
All kinds
sun.
of rats out in L.A.
I don't believe yeah, that's true. Be specific on the type of rats. I've been to L.A. a lot. I don't think I've ever seen a rat in Los Angeles, California. I would have said New York runaway. And I can't believe Bridgeport wasn't on there. Thankfully, thanks to Breda Pest Management, Atlanta, not on the top 5 of the rattiest cities. Corpus Christi comes in at number 9.
Longoria's fact of the day.
Yeah, probably. Those are the bluff rats across the bridge. Today is National Candy Corn Day. And it used to cost 25 cents a pound. Today, a bag of candy corn will run you $9 a pound.
A bag is $9?
But it originally cost 25 cents. That's a 3,500% price increase in less than 140 years.
I feel bad for all the Midwest farmers that have been growing candy corn and couldn't sell them to China. But hopefully we'll get that straightened out.
The worst Halloween candy, by the way?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No,
really?
There's other things that are worse, but
really?
I've never purchased candy corn. I'll eat it.
Nobody wants candy corn. It's just there.
If you brought a bag in, I'm going to eat it, but I've never purchased it.
Who purchases it? I don't know who does that. I've never once purchased candy corn in my life.
No, it just comes up. Mm-hmm. Usually we ship it to China. Soybeans and candy corn.
There you go.
All right, by the way, so Deborah had the rattiest cities. Tomorrow, Longoria is going to come up with the cities with the most lot lizards. That's tomorrow on the Mark Aram Show.
For the Mark Aram Star of the Show?
Oh, I am taking myself out of the running. We have meetings because I'm an idiot. Meetings and so, in fact, I am not going to win Star of the Show, Deborah. It's like an in-school suspension.
Until the government reopens?
No, not that long, but a week. I'm in-school suspension for a week.
Okay.
So no Stars of the Show. I could cure cancer on Tuesday. Do not give me Star of the Show. This is officially in-school suspension because I'm an idiot. But we did have some amazing Deborah, you got to get Star of the Show. You got swept up in my wake. I apologize. Stephen Portnoy from ABC. Caleb Silver joined us talking about the Fed cutting rates again. Good news there. Caleb Silver from Investopedia gets a Star of the Show. Ed O'Keefe is heir, not a spare. Fantastic stuff from Ed live and CBS. Talk about the shutdown and the China Xi meeting. Justin Gray from Channel 2 Action News. Make sure you check out his special tonight at 5. You could be stone cold sober, blow a 0.0, and still get arrested for a DUI. Very excited to see that. Am I forgetting anyone, Deborah? Oh, Erickson brought in sweet treats. Ashley brought in sweet treats. And Longoria brought Bob's. Fantastic. Big show tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Halloween edition of the Mark Aram Show. Very excited. Candy corn for everybody. Stay safe.